Chapter 3670. If an ordinary person wrote it, it would be useless. However, Lin Xian had comprehended the Tao of heaven and earth, and used the laws to write it. Its power was unparalleled. After writing it, the sound of a sword and a dragon's roar could be heard from the ancient character. With a palm strike, the ancient scripture character was incomparably powerful, and it directly knocked away the other party's decree. It even directly pierced through the other party's decree. How could it be like this? Yu Qianye vomited blood. His decree was broken. It was defeated by the other party with a single character. Did you see that? That was the true mystery of the decree. As for you, you only relied on the power of your weapon. You didn't study the essence of it at all. Lin Xian's voice sounded as if he was teaching the other party a lesson. After Yu Qianye heard it, his lungs exploded. Damn it, was the other party teaching him a lesson? What right did he have? He was going crazy with anger. I relied on the power of my old weapon. So what? Although you broke my decree, I have a saint weapon. As he spoke, he activated the heavenly Luo umbrella above his head. This was a true saint weapon that could store everything. As soon as it appeared, the heavenly Luo umbrella kept floating as if it was going to store the whole world. At the same time, Lin Xian also felt a huge power. Kid, be obediently taken in by my heavenly Luo umbrella and turn into a pool of blood. Yu Qianye laughed sinisterly again. However, Lin Xian shook his head. Humph, you're really an idiot. Do you think you're the only one who has a saint weapon? With a wave of his hand, he directly pulled out the Great Destruction Spear to contend with it. Instantly, it blocked the heavenly Luo umbrella. The two saint weapons intertwined. Lin Xian raised his head and looked forward. He walked forward. Damn it! Yu Qianye roared crazily. He didn't expect the other party to have a saint weapon. It was really out of his expectations. However, soon, he revealed a sinister expression. After killing you, the saint weapon will be mine. He charged over and used the Rain Clan's great ability. Wind and Rain Sword. A sword of laws appeared in his hand. As he waved it, it brought about a storm of sword shadows. One had to admit that Yu Qianye was very strong, but unfortunately, he met Lin Xian. Facing such a terrifying sword shadow, Lin Xian directly activated his spatial sacred art, the Void Escape technique. In an instant, he disappeared completely, and reappeared in front of the other party. Then, he took out another item. A bead. The moment the pearl appeared, Yu Qianye instantly felt his body stiffen. It was as if a pair of invisible hands had grabbed him. His Wind and Rain sword also stopped instantly. Damn it, what is this thing? His face was filled with terror, and in the next moment he screamed. Mind Fixation Pearl. You actually have the soul-fixing pearl. The only thing that could freeze him in place in an instant was that terrifying saint artifact, the Mind Fixation Pearl. But how could this be? Wasn't the Divine Fixation Pearl in the hands of the seventh floor? How could it be in his hands? Wait, could it be? Suddenly, he had a thought. You are the mysterious killer! He was really shocked. Previously, when he was in the Ninefold Heavens projection, a killer from the seventh floor had appeared and threatened him with the Mind Fixation Pearl. At that time, he was held hostage, his sister was humiliated, and the small saint of his family even knelt down and kowtowed. All of this was done by this kid in front of him. His eyes were burning, smoke was rising from the top of his head, and his lungs were about to explode. That's right, it's me. Looks like you're not that stupid after all. Do you know that from the beginning to the end, you're not my opponent? What a joke, you dare to fight me. I can only say that you don't know what's good for you. Damn kid, let me go. Let's fight to the death. Fight to the death? Aren't we fighting to the death now? Lin Xian directly slapped him. Half of Yu Qianye's face was shattered. Yu Qianye was knocked to the ground, unable to move at all. The power of the Mind Fixation Pearl was absolutely terrifying. Then, Lin Xian began to attack. First, he broke all the bones in his opponent's body, then he used lightning and fire to torture Yu Qianye. Yu Qianye screamed crazily. He had never experienced such torture in his life. In the end, he was even hit by the eye technique. Locking spring in autumn. That kind of torture on his soul made him hover between life and death. Ah! In the end, Yuchienya's eyes were filled with madness. He self-destructed and exploded into a bloody mist. His soul escaped with a small part of the saint's blood. Seeing this scene, the earth demon demonic rat said, "Kid, chase him, don't let him escape." Lin Xian didn't immediately attack. "No hurry. He's just a piece of trash. How can he escape from me?" "Then why didn't you chase him?" The earth demon demonic rat was very puzzled. Lin Xian said, "Didn't you ask your relatives to spread this kid's shamelessness throughout the East spirit world? I just want him to know what his reputation is like. I want him to die in pain and humiliation. I want everyone to know the consequences of chasing me." Lin Xian's eyes were filled with extremely terrifying killing intent. Indeed, Yuchienya was too despicable. He had tried to kill him more than once. If he was weaker, he would have been killed long ago. This time, he wouldn't be soft-hearted. Lin Xian raised his head and stared at the falling rain umbrella. That umbrella turned into a stream of light and flew into the distance. Obviously, it was summoned by Yuchienya. "Let's go and watch a good show." Lin Xian waved his hand. Little White and the earth demon demonic rat came to his side again. They turned into a stream of light and flew into the distance. In the vast mountains, a blood light flew past. It was Yuchienya. At this moment, his body had recovered, but he was much weaker. This time, he only took 1/3 of his blood with him. Moreover, he had experienced so much torture before. His soul was injured, and his body was seriously injured. The current him couldn't even use half of his strength. It was already very good to be able to use 1/10 of his strength. "Damn it, this is really too damn!" Yuchienya roared crazily. He really didn't expect that he would fall into the hands of the other party. He must take revenge. However, before he left, he had to recover first. He walked into the depths of the mountain forest. He wanted to find a quiet place to recover. At this moment, he heard 2 tree demons talking. "Have you heard? A despicable and shameless guy came to our East spirit world." "I know, despicable and shameless. I think his name is Yuchienya." Puff! Yuchienya spat out a mouthful of blood. Damn it, did that damn rat really spread the news? He originally thought that the other party was just angry at him. He didn't expect that the other party really did it. Go to hell. Yuchienya waved his hand. 2 laws flew out and killed the 2 tree demons. At the same time, he walked in with a dark face. However, after a few steps, he heard people whispering again. They were all some small insects and plant beasts. At this moment, they were all talking crazily. "Do you know that there is a despicable and shameless Yuchienya?" Yuchienya spat out another mouthful of blood. "Ah! Go to hell." He attacked and killed all the beasts. At the same time, his whole body trembled. "I want to see who dares to speak ill of me." His soul spread out in all directions. The space of millions of miles was completely covered by him. However, in the next moment, he spat out 3 liters of blood and fell to the ground. Chapter 3671. It turned out that everyone in the East spirit world was talking about him. Not only the beasts, but even some of the challengers knew about it. For example, the people of Wushuang City knew about it. What? Despicable and shameless Yuchienya, was he actually beaten up? This Yuchienya was not that strong. Yeah, and it was said that he was despicable. Furthermore, those monstrous beasts even said that he was an unpardonably evil person. Despicable and shameless? That was a small matter. He was extremely ugly, and had attacked his own sister, his benefactor, and had taken his own sister for himself. He had even attacked his own father. In short, he was as shameless as he could be. Ah! Yuchienya looked up at the sky and his body exploded. The next moment, he fell to the ground. He was dead. At this moment, the severely injured Yuchienya was dead. She would be angered to death by him. Seeing this, The Earth Fiend demonic rat's eyes widened. Damn, a level 4 sage was angered to death. This was probably the first time in tens of thousands of years. Lin Xian sneered. Yu Qianye deserved it. If he did not provoke Lin Xian, he would not have ended up like this. Ah! Lin Woody, I will not rest until you are dead. Suddenly, a gray shadow rushed out from Yu Qianye's body. It was a spirit. However, it was different from a normal spirit. It was slightly black and had a murderous aura. Not good, a vengeful spirit. The Earth Fiend demonic rat screamed. I knew this guy would not die completely. Lin Xian sneered. Just a vengeful spirit. What can it do to me? Yu Qianye was indeed dead. He did not expect himself to be angered to death. He was indignant. Although his spirit was defeated, it was not completely destroyed. Therefore, after his death, he became a vengeful spirit. Although he was living in another way between heaven and earth, it was completely different from being truly alive before. After becoming a vengeful spirit, it was not easy to cultivate again. Moreover, his strength was greatly reduced. It was not easy for him to be alive. All of this was given to him by Lin Xian. He would not let Lin Xian go. You won't let me off? Lin Xian descended from the sky and looked at the other party. Why won't you let me go? Not good, the other party is coming. Yu Qianye's vengeful spirit was scared out of his wits. He was no match for the other party and wanted to escape. Lin Xian reached out with his giant hand, which blotted out the sky and covered the sun. Like a cage, he directly grabbed the other party. If you wanted to turn into something else, it might be very troublesome, but you chose to turn into a vengeful spirit. I can only say that you are very foolish. Don't worry, she is not your final destination. I want you to die in another 10,000 reincarnations. Lin Xian immediately opened Spring-Autumn Lock. Vengeful spirits were also a type of soul. They were unable to resist eye techniques, especially one as powerful as Lin Xian's. In the next moment, Yu Qianye's vengeful spirit was hit by an eye technique and was pulled into an illusory world. Here, he would receive 10,000 cycles of reincarnation. Every time, he would be mercilessly tortured. It was a fate worse than death. A few seconds later, Yu Qianye's vengeful spirit disappeared. Not a single one of his vengeful spirit was left. The truth was that he had gone through tens of thousands of reincarnations and tens of thousands of years of torture. The Earth Fiend demonic rat swallowed his saliva. Fortunately, he did not provoke such a killing god. Otherwise, his fate would be terrible. Now that Yu Qianye was dead, the next step was to deal with the other party's storage room. Among them, the Sky Luo umbrella turned into a ray of light and tried to escape. However, it was blocked by Lin Xian. After an earth-shattering battle, Lin Xian directly subdued the Sky Luo flash. He threw it into the Great Sage Tower and used the starry sky to refine it. At the same time, Lin Xian looked at the Black Earth again. It was already 90% complete. It would not be long before it completely turned into a saint weapon. This way, he would have more saint weapons in his hands. After thinking for a while, Lin Xian handed the mind-settling pearl to Xiao Bai. He said, "Little guy, this is for you in the future." Little White took it over. "What are those big black eyes?" "Wow, that's great. With this thing along with my treasure bowl, I can snatch anything when the time comes." He laughed mischievously. "Let's go, let's continue on our way." Lin Xian and the other two turned into a ray of light and continued on their way. Although Yu Qianye was dead, the news of him being despicable and shameless continued to spread. In the entire Eastern spirit world, everyone knew about it. The examinees of Peerless City also heard about it. When Di Ling heard the news, his face turned gloomy. What was this Yu Qianye doing? What a piece of trash. I thought I didn't have to do it myself. I didn't expect to have to do it myself. Well, I'll deal with this Lin Woody personally. As Lin Xian flew, he began to clean up Yu Qianye's storage ring. He had to admit that this young master had a lot of things. Lin Xian couldn't help but smile. Just the pills for cultivation alone, he found thousands of bottles. He took out hundreds of bottles and swallowed all of them. He began to eat them like jelly beans. The ground fiend demonic rat looked on with envy. These were all miraculous elixirs for the cultivation of saints. It was not easy to get one on a normal day. Now that the other party had handed over thousands of them, it was a waste to eat them. His heart was bleeding as he looked at her. However, Lin Xian didn't care. He had gotten these by accident. Furthermore, there was no difference between eating it carefully and eating it in large quantities now, and the cultivation effect was no different. Lin Xian even opened the remaining pills and some cultivation treasures. He threw the small sword realm world in for the great dragon sword soul to absorb. The improvement of the great dragon sword soul was more difficult than the improvement of his cultivation. It required more resources. After a few more days, Lin Xian had already obtained 5 East Spirit Stones. The mission was half completed, which made him even more confident. With the ground demon rat, his speed of collecting East Spirit Stones was much faster than others. Now, they were on the way to collect the 6th East Spirit Stone. But half a day later, the ground demon rat said, "Wait! What's wrong?" Lin Xian asked. He didn't know. He felt uneasy. There seemed to be danger approaching. Lin Xian frowned. He carefully sensed and didn't find any danger. The snow-white little monkey next to him was also puzzled. However, the ground demon rat said, "It should be a characteristic of our race. We have a particularly strong sense of hidden danger." Hearing this, Lin Xian frowned. It seemed that this should be true. Perhaps there really was some unknown danger. Take a detour. Lin Xian didn't want to be nosy. He prepared to take a detour. However, a few hours later, the ground demon rat said again, "Stop. The danger is still there. There's danger again. What's going on? You can't have sensed wrongly, right?" The ground demon rat's expression was extremely solemn. "Impossible. I swear on my life that there is definitely danger. I didn't sense wrongly." Then things were strange. The danger had always been there. In other words, someone had always been following him. Chapter 3672. Who was it? Lin Xian's face was cold as he looked in all directions. He opened his heavenly secret divine eyes. After opening his body, the strange runes inside pulsated twice. It seemed that there was indeed someone nearby, but he couldn't see through it. Who was it? "Sneaky, come out!" Lin Xian stood in the void and shouted coldly. There was no one around, but Lin Xian was on guard. His heavenly secret divine eyes and the earth fiend demonic rat told him that there was a problem. Then, someone was hiding here. Suddenly, a black spatial crack appeared in the void and spread toward him. This attack was very sudden, and it was right beside Lin Xian. Lin Xian couldn't dodge at all. He could only roar and use his divine body to block it. Boom! He collided with the terrifying spatial crack and was sent flying. The spatial crack was also kicked away by him. Sure enough, someone attacked. Lin Xian stopped, and his face was extremely cold. Who was it? Was it Di Ling? Or was it ghostly? After Yu Qianye died, these 2 people were most likely to attack him. Moreover, these 2 people were very strong, far stronger than Yu Qianye. However, it shouldn't be Di Ling, because with Di Ling's arrogant personality, he should come out and kill him directly. Then, was it ghostly? After all, the other party came from the Fiend planet. He was despicable and sinister, so he definitely wouldn't attack him directly. Thinking of this, his expression turned cold. Ghostly, I let you go last time, but you still dare to act recklessly. Since that's the case, you can go to hell to see Yu Qianye. Lin Xian's voice was cold, and his eyes swept in all directions. However, no one answered. In the sky, an eye appeared. A black eye was erected in the sky. This sudden appearance made people's hair stand on end. Lin Xian frowned, and his eyelids twitched. The earth fiend demonic rat was swept by that gaze, and its heart turned cold, as if its soul had fallen into a bottomless abyss. It was too scary. As a third firmament demon sage, the earth fiend demonic rat was unable to withstand this aura. How strong was this person? Lin Xian's eyelids were also twitching. This black eye gave him a similarly huge threat. Damn it, just who was it? This aura was too terrifying. Was it really ghostly? Ghostly had such a terrifying aura? That's not right. Could it be that it wasn't ghostly? Who was that? If you don't want to talk, then I'll destroy your eyes. Lin Xian roared furiously. He waved his hand and a sword beam slashed forward. The black eye in front of him pulsated and shot out a black blade of light. It also slashed over and collided with the sword chi. With a loud clang, the two of them were sent flying. The void was shattered. The aura emitted by the black eye was even more terrifying now. 1. Lin Xian raised his hand and another 5 elemental mountain flew out. His opponent fired out another black blade of light. This time, the 5 elemental mountain was cleaved in half. Lin Xian's figure flickered and dodged the black blade of light. His face was completely gloomy. What a terrifying attack. One had to know that his 5 elemental laws were very strong. It was not a problem for him to beat a 4th firmament saint like Yu Qianqian. However, his opponent could easily cut through his divine ability. This person was very strong. Had he finally met his match? Lin Xian looked solemn. In front of him, the black eye suddenly pulsated. Black ripples spread out and then swept towards Lin Xian. Not good. The earth fiend demonic rat went crazy. How could they block such a terrifying eye technique attack? Lin Xian's face also changed. He formed a seal with his palms and green ripples appeared in the golden eye. Blue tide birth. It was also a terrifying eye technique. The green ripples and black ripples collided in the sky and were annihilated silently. This silent collision was even more terrifying than the collapse of heaven and earth. If one was not careful, one's soul would be destroyed. After a long time, the two slowly disappeared in the sky. At this time, a voice sounded. Interesting. I didn't expect you to be able to block my ghost eye. Who exactly are you? Lin Xian shouted coldly. Until now, he had not found any trace of the other party. This was a very bad sign. You dared to kill my fellow disciples. I was originally here to kill you and avenge my junior brother. However, I didn't expect you to have such a strange pair of eyes. Very well. Now I'll give you a chance to die happily. Kneel down and dig out your eyes for me. I can let you die happily. Otherwise, I'll let you taste the feeling of living a life worse than death. Humph, if you want my eyes, let's see if you have the ability. Stupid, you're no match for me. A cold voice sounded, but still no one appeared. There was only a vertical black eye floating there, but now it was even more sinister and terrifying. That ghost eye was pulsating. Suddenly, a few black shadows flew out from it and kept growing. As soon as they appeared, they roared into the sky. They were black creatures that looked like black leopards and black wolves, but they were obviously more terrifying. As soon as they appeared, they charged towards Lin Xian crazily. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He raised his hand and a few sword chi flew out, colliding with the few black beasts. One of them was sent flying, but it did not die immediately. This scene caused Lin Xian to be even more astonished. The ground fiend demonic rat shrieked. Could it be that this eye technique belonged to someone? 100 Eyes Demon Sage. This was a very powerful beast. Its body was a centipede with hundreds of eyes, and the power of each eye was different. It could use many kinds of eye techniques. It grew up in the East Spirit world, but later joined the Demon City. It was very terrifying, far above the lightning beasts. It might be a 5th firmament demon sage. Hearing this, Lin Xian was speechless. It was the people of the Demon City. No wonder. He had killed a lightning beast that was about to reach the Tao. It seemed that the other party's experts were here to take revenge. If the Demon City wants to kill you, you have to kneel down obediently and wait to be killed. How dare you resist and kill my junior brother? Today, you will die without a doubt. The 100 Eyes Demon Sage's voice sounded. Lin Xian sneered. How arrogant, how domineering. But are you sure you can kill me? Useless kid, although you are strong and have eye techniques, you are still no match for me. I only have to use a ghost eye now, and you can't beat me. Enjoy it slowly. These beasts are spirits that I summoned from the ghost world. Let's see how you can stop them. Was it summoned? Lin Xian frowned. The ground demon rat trembled. Damn it, the rumors were true. It was said that the ghost eye was connected to the ghost Dao world. It seemed that it was true. Really? Summoned? Lin Xian snorted. Do you think I don't know? He formed a seal with his palm and used the phantom spirit curse. Buzz! The void shattered, and a warhorse with a headless rider crossed the space. The moment it appeared, it shocked everyone. Chapter 3673. Kill! Under Lin Xian's control, the Headless Horseman unleashed a massacre in all directions and engaged in a fierce battle with the demonic beasts from the ghost realm. In the end, the Headless Horseman pierced through the monsters with his spear. What the hell? You're just SOSO. Lin Xian sneered. The ghost eye on the opposite side twitched. It did not expect Lin Xian to be able to summon, and the power of his summoning was so strong. Buzz! At this moment, the void fluctuated, and a second eye appeared. It was a green eye. As soon as it appeared, it flashed with a demonic light. It shot out a green light toward the Headless Horseman. The green light instantly enveloped the Headless Horseman, and the Headless Horseman and his war horse melted quickly. In the end, they turned into a pool of green water and fell to the ground. Ha ha, do you think I only have one eye? I'm the 100-eyed demon saint. I'm afraid you don't know my name. The cold voice sounded again in the sky. The green eye shot out another light wave toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he instantly dodged. The void where he was standing was shattered, and turned into a pool of green water. What a strong poison! Lin Xian could see that the green eye should be a poisonous eye that could melt everything. A ghost eye that could summon monsters, and a poisonous eye that could melt everything. He had to admit that the 100-eyed demon saint was really strong. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms. He growled, and a golden flame jumped out of the heavenly flame and floated forward. It was the soul fire of the eye technique. Although he did not know where the Headless Horseman's real body was, as long as he destroyed the Headless Horseman's eye, the Headless Horseman would definitely come out. The golden flame floated toward the green eye. At the same time, the black ghost eye was also attacked. The two eyes burned in the raging fire and kept moving. It also emitted a terrifying black mist to resist the green light. What a terrifying soul fire! Your eyes are mine! In the sky, an illusory figure appeared. The enemy had appeared. Lin Xian raised his head and looked. In the next moment, his brows furrowed tightly. It was a tall man with dark red skin and 2 antennae on his head. Everything seemed normal, but when he looked further down, it was completely different. There were countless eyes on the other party's body, and every single one of them was different from the rest. Just looking at it would make one's scalp go numb. Was he already the 100-eyed demon saint? It was really too scary. Sure enough, with over 100 eyes, if every single one of them possessed a special kind of eye technique, it would be truly terrifying. Furthermore, the opponent's cultivation had actually reached the early stage of the 5th heaven. This cultivation was even stronger than the earth spirit. 1. At this moment, the 100-eyed demon sage lifted his palm. A blue eye appeared in the middle of his palm. As the blue eyes opened and closed, a few blue light blades shot out, instantly cutting apart the soul fire. The blue light was really too sharp. Then, it shot out a few more rays towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian could feel it, and his hair stood on end. He did not dare to take it head-on. His body swayed, and he kept dodging. This is the heavenly peak eye, and it can cut through everything in this world. Can you block it? 1. As he spoke, over 100 blue lights flew out. Those were blue light blades, and they were really terrifying. Like a rainbow, they broke through the void and surrounded Lin Xian. Kill! Lin Xian roared, and an unparalleled sword intent surged from his body. He pulled out the spear of destruction and swept it in all directions. All the blue light blades were sent flying. In the next moment, his divine body bloomed, and he looked like a god of war. Have a taste of my power. With a roar, the spear of destruction shot out over 10,000 terrifying sword chi of the 5 forms. Whoosh! The 100-eyed demon sage laughed, opened his mouth, and stuck out his tongue. There was an eye on his tongue. Then, the eye shone brightly and turned into a vortex, swallowing all the sword chi. Gulp! The 100-eyed demon sage swallowed his saliva and laughed. Your sword chi is not bad. Is it that strong? Lin Xian frowned. The earth fiend demonic rat was scared out of its wits. One had to know that Lin Xian had easily killed the lightning demonic beast and Yu Qianye. But now, all of Lin Xian's attacks were ineffective. It was unbelievable. However, he also knew that this was normal. The white-eyed great sage was a level 5 sage, and he was very powerful. With so many terrifying eye techniques, no one was a match for him. Damn it, why is this demon here? The earth fiend demonic rat was terrified. Kid, what other moves do you have? Show them all. If not, you can go to hell. The 100-eyed demon sage laughed sinisterly. At the same time, he waved his hand, and the heavenly peak eye was shot out again. Lin Xian fought back, and his sword chi was strong. However, the light blades formed by the heavenly peak eye were too terrifying. Some of them still managed to hit him and sent him flying. Lin Xian's blood was boiling, but it did not break. It only left a few faint white marks. He blocked it. The white-eyed great sage was shocked. It seems that your physique is a special physique. How surprising. However, this was more interesting. Hunting geniuses was more interesting. He raised his arm. On his arm, there were many eyes other than the heavenly peak eye on his palm. At this moment, a few of them opened. Suddenly, a purple hand appeared in the eyes and grabbed at him. On the other side, the poisonous eye spewed out a green poisonous mist that could melt everything. At the same time, ghost eyes summoned countless ghosts and charged toward Zhang Xian. In an instant, all kinds of mystique attacks covered the sky. Lin Xian grabbed the earth fiend demonic rat and put it away. After that, he let out a long howl and charged over. The 5 elemental laws circled around him, turning into sword chi, shields, and all kinds of demonic beasts to fight back. The battle between the two was earth-shattering. However, the 100-eyed demon sage was too strong. He was actually suppressing Lin Xian. Go to hell, brat! 100,000 heavenly peak blades formed a blue heavenly blade and slashed at him. With a clang, it collided with the great destruction spear and sent Lin Xian flying. At the same time, a green light surged out from his back, trying to melt Lin Xian's body. At the critical moment, Lin Xian used the void escape and used his spatial mystique to dodge the attack. With a low roar, Whitey suddenly appeared near the white-eyed great sage. He used the mind fixation pearl, and the entire void froze. The 100-eyed demon sage also felt his body stiffen. Damn monkey, get out of here! The 100-eyed demon sage opened his eyes, as if he could tear everything apart. With a whoosh, Whitey used extreme speed to dodge. It was useless. Humph, the mind fixation pearl? You can fix my body, but can you fix my eyes? Chapter 3674. That was indeed the case. The composing orb did not seem to be effective against someone with a strong eye technique. Squeak, look at me! At that instant, Whitey appeared close to the 100-eyed sacred beast again and slapped its head with its furry paw. Following this, the eyes of the 100-eyed sacred beast lost their brilliance. It was dizzy. Even though the 100-eyed sacred beast was extremely terrifying, it was still dizzy under the paw of Whitey. Great chance. Lin Xian let out a roar and went all out. The spear of destruction unleashed a terrifying dragon-shaped sword intent. At the same time, he activated his eye technique, Spring and Autumn Lock. He was going to kill it with a single blow. His eye technique was the first to arrive. His opponent's eyes were once again confused as he dragged it into an illusionary world. At the same time, the spear of destruction arrived with an unstoppable aura. It was trying to penetrate its opponent. His right eye suddenly turned pitch black. Then, a door flew out from his eye. A giant purple door with a ghostly face appeared in front of it like a giant mountain. Bang! The spear of destruction collided with the giant purple ghostly face, resulting in a deafening explosion. The 100-eyed sacred beast was knocked flying. Lin Xian made his move again. He unleashed hundreds of thousands of sword intents, which completely drowned his opponent. Bang, bang, bang! It felt like the end of the world. However, a furious roar could be heard from the front. How dare you set me up? Following this, a giant door was lifted and knocked away the sword intents. The 100-eyed sacred beast walked out from the door again. At this moment, its cold face was slightly twisted. Its right eye was already closed. A line of blood could be seen flowing out from it. It was obvious that the dragon-shaped sword intent was not useless. It seemed like it had injured its opponent's right eye. You've infuriated me, thoroughly infuriated me. I'm going to torture you to death. The 100-eyed sacred beast roared. Lin Xian's face was as cold as ice. Damn it, the other party only had one eye injured. This was too unbelievable. Moreover, how did the other party escape from his spring and autumn lock? Who was it? Get your ass out here. At this moment, the 100-eyed demon saint roared and waved his right hand. The eye of heavenly wind slashed out endless blue blades, shattering the void in the distance. Pooh! A figure flashed. I'm just passing by to watch the battle. I don't have any ill intentions, the figure said coldly. The 100-eyed beast saint snorted coldly and looked into the distance. There was actually someone else here. Lin Xian was astonished. In the next moment, his expression turned strange. Imperial Mausoleum. That's right, the one who was chased out was Di Ling. Who would have thought that Di Ling would actually come and watch the battle in the dark? At this moment, Di Ling couldn't conceal the shock in his heart. Previously, he had been searching all the way and finally found traces of Lin Xian. However, he did not expect that Lin Xian was fighting with someone else. Moreover, his opponent was so powerful that it made his hair stand on end. The other party's cultivation was actually higher than his. He was a level 5 sage. Furthermore, the other party's eye technique was too terrifying. Even if he were to face him, he did not have the confidence to win. Of course, how could he leave a battle like this? Therefore, he hid in the void and watched. However, he did not expect to be discovered by the other party. Since he had been discovered, he could not stay here any longer. He turned around and wanted to leave. The 100-eyed beast saint said, "Did I say you could leave? Your Excellency, you're being too aggressive." Di Ling turned his head with a cold expression. So what if I'm being aggressive? I don't take a mere human seriously. The 100-eyed beast saint sneered. Damn it! Di Ling's expression turned ugly. Although he was famous in the second astral realm, that was only in the eyes of ordinary families. His reputation was useless against the experts of the sacred city, especially when he was facing such a terrifying beast. Therefore, he did not attack. Instead, he suppressed his anger and said, "I think you've misunderstood. I'm not going to attack you. Actually, that brat and I are enemies. I came here to kill him, but since he offended you, I'll kill him. Since he has offended you, then I don't need to do anything. He's dead meat." Di Ling's meaning was very simple. He and the 100-eyed beast saint had the same enemy. He thought that the other party would not make things difficult for him. Di Ling, it seems that you're shameless enough. How can someone like you be number one? How ridiculous. Kid, you're about to die and you still dare to be arrogant in front of me? Di Ling did not hold back. Who said that I'm about to die? Lin Xian sneered. Although the other party was very strong and had a terrifying eye technique, he also had many trump cards. The Great Dragon Sword Soul, the Great Sage Tower, and the Starry Sky Fire had not been used yet. He looked at Di Ling with a cold smile. You look strong and fierce, but you're just bullying the weak and fearing the weak. When you meet someone weaker than you, you're arrogant and act high and mighty. But when you meet someone stronger than you immediately become a coward. You were like that when you faced Wushuang's city in the heaven-reaching tower, and now you're facing the demon city. What kind of genius are you? Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disdain. A true prodigy should become stronger when faced with a strong opponent, and not face any difficulties head-on. How can Di Ling be like this? Bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Reckless. Di Ling naturally knew about this. But so what? Staying alive was the most important thing. In his opinion. Lin Xian's character. You're courting death. Okay. Stop acting in front of me. Neither of you will be able to escape, the 100-eyed beast saint sneered. I don't know which saint city you're from, but since you've met me, go to hell obediently. Buzz. He shot out his ghost eye to deal with Di Ling, then looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian's face was cold. Do you really think that you can send me to hell? He roared and activated his divine body. Not only that, he also activated the black Qilin tattoo. Then, his eyes shone brightly. He charged towards the 100-eyed beast sage. You want to fight me in close combat? You won't have the chance. The 100-eyed beast sage used various eye techniques. The green eyes could melt everything, the purple hands could cover the sky, and the heavenly wind eye could sweep everything. However, when these attacks landed on Lin Xian's body, they caused his divine body to sway uncontrollably. But that was it. Lin Xian's body was extremely strong. He resisted all the attacks and charged towards the 100-eyed beast sage. He clenched his right fist and punched the sky. The great spear of destruction in his left hand kept dancing. Buzz! The 100-eyed beast sage kept retreating. He didn't expect his opponent's attack to be so strong that he could ignore so many of his eye techniques. It was really incredible. In an instant he flew back. It seems that you're not as powerful as I thought. You still have to dodge my attacks. After forcing the other party back, Lin Xian sneered coldly. Chapter 3675. Damn it, why is this kid's body so uncanny? On the other side, the 100-eyed beast overlord's expression was also extremely cold. To be honest, he did not expect his opponent's body to be so strong. After taking so many of his eye techniques head-on, he still managed to reach him. Don't be so cocky. Die. He unleashed another terrifying eye technique. Lin Xian kept shuttling back and forth. At the same time, he drew a circle with his hands and used stellar transposition. This time, he used the mysterious power. Stellar transposition could divert all power. Therefore, the eye techniques in front of him were completely messed up. Lin Xian ordered them to kill each other. The eye of the heavenly peak landed on the eye of the poison. The purple phantom eye landed on the eye of the heavenly wind. For a moment, the eye techniques in the air kept riding. Lin Xian even controlled a few light blades to attack the 100-eyed beast overlord in the opposite direction. The 100-eyed beast overlord was startled and quickly dodged. What a strange power. This kid is too uncanny. It seemed that he had to use more terrifying trump cards. The 100 eyes on his body flickered with demonic light. It was obvious that he was going to use a great skill. However, at that moment, a loud explosion came from the distance. Then, a silver light flashed extremely far away, displaying an unparalleled vision of heaven and earth. Oh no, that thing! The 100-eyed beast overlord's expression changed instantly. He roared, Kid, I'll spare your life for now. I'll kill you myself in the future. Then, his figure flickered and he quickly flew into the distance. Lin Xian harumphed coldly and did not attack again. He also looked into the distance. There was a silver immortal light there. He did not know what had happened, but if it could attract someone like the 100-eyed beast overlord, it was obvious that something incredible had happened. He finally left. On the other side, Di Ling also let out a sigh of relief. A single ghost eye was enough to make him feel as if he was facing a great enemy. Fortunately, the other party had left. He turned his head and stared at Lin Xian with a cold smile on his face. Now, it's time to settle our grudge. I didn't expect you to be so lucky. First, you escaped from Yuchiene's pursuit, and now you can escape from such a terrifying beast. However, you still met me. I will kill you with my own hands. Your luck has come to an end. Di Ling walked over, his body emitting a terrifying killing intent. Lin Xian sneered. Good luck, you idiot. Do you still think I'm lucky? Well, it was time to put an end to it. Golden light shot out from his eyes. Like a divine blade, he charged forward. Damn it! To think that the other party's eye technique would be so powerful. In the next moment, Di Ling let out a roar, and countless runes appeared on his body. A jade pendant floated up and down around his neck, forming a powerful defense. You think I don't have a weapon? How can I defend against soul attacks? He snorted coldly. Previously, I was afraid of the 100-eyed demon saint because he was powerful. This does not mean that I am afraid of you. At this point, he roared and formed a seal with his palms. Immediately, with a loud boom, 10,000 streaks of thunder rang out. The entire sky drop was boiling. Now go to hell. It was clear that the Imperial Mausoleum had unleashed an extremely powerful divine ability. Buzz! A green light flew out from his back. It was like thousands of heavenly swords, carrying a mysterious aura. Lin Xian roared angrily and charged forward. His fists opened and closed, sweeping in all directions. The Great Destruction spear shot out terrifying sword chi one after another. The two of them fought in the sky. It was incomparable. Everything around them was torn to pieces. The sky fell and the earth cracked. The light on Lin Xian's body became stronger and stronger. Buzz! He directly activated his divine body and black qilin tattoo. It was obvious that he did not intend to hold back against Di Ling. Di Ling originally thought that he could quickly finish off his opponent, but he did not expect that after a few moves, his arm would be numb. His entire body trembled. Damn it, the other party was too strong. He would not allow such a person to exist. He roared, and the power in his body kept erupting, illuminating the entire sky. At this moment, Di Ling's aura rose infinitely. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The laws on his body flickered non-stop, forming a large square seal that smashed over fiercely. Wherever the large seal passed, black holes would appear in the void. Nothing could stop it. Lin Xian used the Great Destruction spear to fight against it, and the two of them fought until the sky fell and the earth cracked. Buzz! Suddenly, the large seal trembled violently, and at an unbelievable angle, it flew towards Di Ling. Di Ling was sent flying with a single strike. Half of Di Ling's body was completely shattered. His black hair fluttered, and he roared crazily, his eyes flickering with a scarlet light. Damn it, he was injured. He was actually injured by his own weapon. What was going on? His eyes were emitting a terrifying light, and Lin Xian snorted coldly. Naturally, he used the stellar transposition to attack unexpectedly. After a successful attack, he charged forward. The 5 elemental laws surrounded his body, forming terrifying 5 elemental mountains that fell from the sky. On the other side, the dragon-shaped sword she kept roaring. All kinds of terrifying divine powers were crazily blasted forward. Di Ling kept retreating. At the same time, he opened his mouth and spat out a green moon wheel. It flickered above his head, blocking the divine powers. The green moon wheel. It was a sacred artifact. It shone with thousands of rays of light, protecting Di Ling. Di Ling's palm kept opening and closing. Nirvana divine palm. The palm was unparalleled. The palm carried the light of Nirvana. Wherever it passed, it seemed to be able to turn the entire world into death. This strange scene caused all the surrounding demonic beasts to prostrate themselves on the ground. Brat, go to hell. This palm is an extremely terrifying forbidden divine ability. He had learned it from the corpse of an ancient sage. It was extremely powerful. It carried the aura of death. Lin Xian was surprised, but soon he sneered. Competing with him in terms of power? Di Ling was still far from it. One had to know that he had absorbed the power of the death mist, and he cultivated the Tai Chi art. With a flash, Lin Xian activated the Tai Chi art. The Tai Chi art in his body rotated, and he immediately slapped out. It was a pitch-black palm. It was like thick ink that filled the sky. It collided with the Nirvana divine palm. You're courting death. How dare you resist me? Go to hell now. Di Ling sneered. Even a fifth heaven sage would have to retreat when facing his divine powers, let alone his opponent. However, he soon frowned, and his face became extremely ugly. Because he realized that his Nirvana divine palm could not hurt his opponent at all. Instead, he felt the terror of death engulfing him. The power of death. How could it be? Di Ling's face was extremely ugly. How did his opponent have such a power of death? It was unbelievable. Chapter 3676. One had to know that he could use the Nirvana divine palm because he had an ancient coffin in his body. That was why he could block the terrifying power of Nirvana. But what about his opponent? Could it be that he also had a corpse in his body? Or else, how could his opponent withstand the power of death? He was really going crazy. Although it was just a few simple exchanges, he was at a disadvantage, which he couldn't accept. Lin Xian sneered. He was going all out now. He had used all of his great abilities. How could his opponent withstand it? Kill him. On the other side, Di Ling struck out a few more times. Nirvana divine palm. At the same time, he activated the green moon wheel above his head. That was a sacred artifact. Under Di Ling's activation, it bloomed with an incomparable green light that dyed the sky red. With a buzz, it turned into a stream of light that cut through the sky and slashed towards Lin Xian. The sky was split into two halves. Clang! Lin Xian used the great spear of destruction and smashed over like a heavenly hammer. It hit the green moon wheel hard and made a sonorous sound. The two sacred artifacts clashed in the air. Buzz! At this moment, Di Ling waved his hand again and a flying sword rushed out. That flying sword was only the size of a palm, but it flickered with an incomparable light. The monstrous killing intent was terrifying. The flying sword streaked across the sky, causing the mountains and rivers to change color and the sun and moon to dim. Let's see how you're going to fight this time. Di Ling sneered. His opponent definitely couldn't block two sacred artifacts. Indeed, it was too fast. The flying sword arrived in front of Lin Xian in an instant, and stabbed towards his heart. Even if this attack couldn't kill him, it could severely injure him. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He roared and the black Qilin tattoo covered his body. At the same time, he waved his fist and blocked the flying sword. He was courting death. Di Ling sneered when he saw this. In the next moment, there was an earth-shattering collision in front of him. Lin Xian was blasted away and crashed into countless mountains. He fell to the ground. Humph, let's see how you're going to die. Di Ling put his hands behind his back and sneered as he walked forward. With a few steps, he arrived in the sky and looked down. In his imagination, Lin Xian's heart was pierced through by the flying sword and nailed to the ground. He must be seriously injured. But soon, he was able to see through the fog and clearly see the scene below. How could this be? Di Ling screamed and almost fell from the sky. He saw that on the ground below, a figure stood up. The figure's body was still glowing, and the black Qilin tattoo was vivid and lifelike. In his left hand, there was a flying sword that looked like a dragon's head. He wasn't injured, but he was caught by the other party. Di Ling was going crazy. That was a saint tool. Even he didn't dare to take it head-on, so what did Su Ke have to contend with it? Would the other party dare to take a saint artifact with his bare hands? What kind of physique was this? Damn it! The Mausoleum formed a hand seal, wanting to activate the flying sword. The flying sword kept trembling like a fish, trying to break free. The sword light on its body illuminated the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It flew out from his fingertips and shone so brightly that people couldn't open their eyes. Lin Xian's arm also began to tremble. But in the next moment, he threw it forward. At the same time, he used stellar transposition. The flying sword drew an arc in the air and slashed at Di Ling's neck. Di Ling was shocked. He couldn't control himself. A bloody mark appeared on his neck, and more than half of his hair was cut off. All the hair on his body stood on end. If he had been a second slower, his head would have been cut off. Damn it, he really deserved to die. He had been completely suppressed after several attacks. Even after taking out 2 saint weapons, he still wasn't the other party's match. The proud him couldn't accept this at all. I don't believe it! With a roar, a green light appeared in Di Ling's eyes. In the next moment, an extremely terrifying power bloomed. It spread out from his body, and he opened his mouth to spit out a green coffin. The moment the coffin appeared, it became as large as a bronze coffin. It floated in the air and emitted an incomparably cold aura. It was as if a peerless demon king had awakened. Lin Xian's expression also changed. The green snake's coffin was a great threat to him. Therefore, he wouldn't allow the other party to appear. With a furious roar, the great dragon sword soul within Zhang Xian's body burst forth. Countless sword chi of the dragon roar surged out, morphing into a true dragon that charged forward. They tore the sky apart, wanting to completely destroy Di Ling. Di Ling kept dodging. At the same time, he shouted and slammed his palm on the bronze coffin. Immediately, the cyan coffin began to rumble. The bronze coffin opened, and a corpse stood up from inside. The moment the corpse appeared, the sky started to crumble. Even Lin Xian felt his hair stand on end. It was a terrifying corpse. It was definitely a terrifying saint. Not good, I have to attack. He shot out millions of sword chi, slashing forward. Buzz. The ancient corpse waved its hand, and millions of sword chi were caught in its hand, forming a light ball. It was too terrifying. This ancient corpse was very dangerous. It should be Di Ling's greatest trump card. Lin Xian's face darkened. He didn't act rashly. Di Ling looked up to the sky and laughed. Ha 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 ha, kid, no matter how strong you are, can you defeat my trump card? His face was ferocious. He had to torture Lin Xian to death to vent his hatred. Lin Xian said coldly. No matter how strong you are, it's the corpse that's strong. It's not your strength. What's there to be arrogant about? But this corpse is mine. It listens to my command. Of course, this is part of my strength. Kid, don't be so stubborn. Trump cards are also a kind of strength. I have them and you don't. So you're dead. Go and kill him. Di Ling said coldly. The corpse's eyes shone with a cold light. It pushed its hand, and millions of sword chi formed a light ball and blasted it out. Instantly it flew towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt his hair stand on end. His body swayed, and he instantly dodged. Millions of sword chi exploded together, piercing through the sky. Lin Xian activated the Qilin Phantom and used the Great Destruction Spear. He killed a path out of the millions of sword chi. His face was incomparably cold. Di Ling sneered. Did you see that? You can't block a casual attack. Next, you'll definitely die. The ancient saint corpse attacked again. It waved its withered claws gently, and the sky fell and the earth cracked. In an instant, Lin Xian was enveloped. Buzz! Lin Xian waved the Great Destruction Spear and hit the corpse. It made a clanging sound, but it didn't penetrate the corpse at all. The palm paused for a moment, and then it fell mercilessly. Lin Xian felt a huge pressure. He kept retreating, and he spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. Looking at the other party's appearance, it was a corpse. Then, the Tai Chi art couldn't take away the other party's life. Eye techniques were useless against a dead person. Moreover, Di Ling was on full defense now. It would be difficult to hurt the other party with eye techniques. Chapter 3677. Stellar Transposition. Lin Xian shouted, and the force was used on the ancient corpse's hand. The ancient corpse's palm deviated from its direction and fell beside him with a bang. The airwave caused by the impact sent him flying. Lin Xian's blood and qi churned, and blood flowed from the corner of his mouth again. It was terrifying. Just the aftermath of the energy was enough to injure him. If this palm hit him, even with his physique, he would be injured. Ha ha, kid, now you know how powerful I am. You want to contend against me with the likes of you? Seeing this scene, Di Ling looked up to the sky and laughed, as if victory was in his hands. You won the first place in the first 2 rounds because there was a limit. Otherwise, do you think you can be so arrogant in front of me? I can easily trample you under my feet, Di Ling said again. At the same time, the ancient corpse threw a few more palms, and Lin Xian kept dodging. If he didn't have many divine abilities, it would be difficult for him to resist. In the end, Lin Xian was angry. Do you think you're the only one with a trump card? You're still far from being able to compare trump cards. Kid, are you still so stubborn when you're about to die? If you really do have a trump card, then show it to me and let me have a look. Let me tell you, the origin of this corpse is mysterious, and it's not something you can imagine. Even if you take out a sacred weapon, you can't suppress him. Indeed, Di Ling had infinite confidence. Previously in the heaven-reaching tower, he could compete with a minor saint with the ancient corpse. He didn't believe that the other party could compete with such an existence. You'll see. Lin Xian didn't say anything, but he formed a seal with his palm. Come out. He activated the great dragon sword soul. With a roar, it flew out from his body, turned into a dragon-shaped sword light, and slashed out. This sword strike was earth-shattering, and everything in the world lost its brilliance. What is this? Di Ling was completely frozen in place as if he was struck by lightning. This power was too terrifying, and he couldn't react at all. The ancient corpse also roared anxiously and stood out from the coffin. It wanted to fight back. However, the sword light was too fast, and it slashed on its body. With a bang, it flew out with the coffin. Ah! The ancient corpse roared towards the sky, its voice incomparably miserable. Not good. Di Ling came back to his senses and looked behind him. In the next moment, his face turned pale and he almost fell to the ground. Injured? How could this be? The ancient saint's corpse was actually injured. A crack had appeared on its body, almost splitting it in half. Di Ling couldn't believe it. He felt as if he was dreaming. He knew very well just how terrifying the corpse of an ancient sage was. Even if it were to fight with a minor god, it wouldn't be a problem at all. What did this mean? This meant that there was a minor saint living in his body. That was why he dared to peek at 100 Eyes Sage's battle. After all, he had the ancient sage corpse with him, so there was no need for him to fear the other party. But now, his greatest support was actually injured. Moreover, he was injured by a sword shadow. This was truly inconceivable. What kind of sword was that? He stared at the light, and realized that it was an ancient green sword. It was like a real dragon had transformed into a sword light. What the hell was that? He was dumbfounded. Just as he was in a daze, the green dragon's sword attacked again. Another sword strike directly cut off one of the ancient corpse's arms. The ancient saint's corpse roared towards the sky. Di Ling was scared out of his wits and didn't dare to be careless anymore. Come back! With a wave of his hand, the ancient saint's corpse entered the bronze coffin. With a bang, the coffin closed. Then, he merged with the bronze coffin and quickly fled into the distance. Di Ling, the insufferably arrogant Di Ling, directly ran away. Moreover, he ran away in fear. If anyone else saw this scene, they would probably be scared out of their wits. Di Ling was the hope of winning the championship, but he still lost to Lin Xian in a battle without any restrictions. He ran quite fast. Lin Xian snorted coldly, his face gloomy. He withdrew the great dragon sword soul and didn't chase after him. Di Ling was too fast. He probably couldn't catch up even if he chased after him. If he chased him for 8 to 10 days, it wouldn't be worth it. It was better to get first place in the 3rd round first. He didn't forget that the reward for first place was a leaf of enlightenment tea. This leaf had an incomparable effect on his comprehension of the great Tao of heaven and earth. He had to recover first. The previous battle had injured him. After all, whether it was the ancient saint's corpse or the white-eyed ancient saint, they both posed a great threat to him. As for Di Ling, if he didn't have the ancient saint's corpse, it would be very easy for him to kill him. With a sway of his body, he directly went tens of thousands of meters underground and set up a formation to recover. He had a lot of natural resources, thus he was able to recover from his injuries in just half a day. However, he didn't come out. Instead, he frowned and began to recall the battle. There was nothing to say about the battle with the ancient saint's corpse. That was the corpse of an ancient saint. Even if it was dead, it was still very powerful. However, the battle with the 100-eyed ancient saint had benefited him greatly. That was because he rarely fought with people with eye techniques. Even if he did, their eye techniques were inferior to his. Today, however, he had persevered until he obtained a powerful eye technique. The 100-eyed beast saint had too many eyes and his eye technique was unpredictable. Although the power of each eye technique was not as strong as the heavenly secret divine eyes, it was still very powerful. Although its individual eye technique was inferior to the heavenly secret divine eye, with so many of them added together, its power surpassed the heavenly secret divine eye. That was really surprising. Especially the eye of the heavenly wind, the blue light blade was too powerful. In addition, the ancient saint's right eye was able to create a giant purple ghost-faced door. Its defense was so strong that he was shocked. His dragon-shaped sword intent was unable to completely break it. It only injured the ancient saint's opponent. Furthermore, the ancient saint's other eyes had yet to be used. What kind of remarkable ability did they have? I wonder if my heavenly secret god eyes are able to perform such a divine ability? Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He also had a strong defense. He also had a remarkable ability to summon heroic spirits. In fact, he also had powerful attacks, but they were all scattered. If he could fuse them into his eyes, he would be able to unleash them. When the time came, he would be able to kill the enemy without any surprise. My heavenly secret divine eyes should be very powerful and have unparalleled potential. Besides, I also have the dragon sword spirit. If I combine these two, will I be able to evolve the ancient saint's ability? Lin Xian had an idea. His heavenly secret divine eyes were extremely mysterious. The dragon sword spirit could evolve anything. He was looking forward to the combination of the two. Following this, he began to try. When the power of the dragon sword spirit merged with his eyes, Lin Xian could feel a mysterious aura intertwining. It worked. He was overjoyed, as he knew that his idea was very likely to be correct. Of course, he did not dare to act recklessly. After all, he had never heard of anyone doing this before. Lin Xian was trying to cross the river by feeling his way. Chapter 3678. After trying it out, Lin Xian used the heavenly secret godly eyes and the dragon sword spirit to produce some golden light blades. This was an imitation of the eye of the heavenly peak. These light blades were also unparalleled and carried an indomitable aura. Then, he combined it with the spirit summoning curse and used his eye technique to summon some powerful heroic spirits. He even combined the Qilin tattoo, the eye technique, and the dragon sword spirit to form a black Qilin shield. It was indeed effective. Lin Xian tried it a few times and found that the initial effect was very satisfactory. This eye technique was created by me. It does not completely belong to the heavenly secret prodigy. I have to give it a new name. Lin Xian thought for a while and his lips curled into a smile. Evolving all things. Let's call it the eyes of all changes. Great. With the eyes of all changes, Lin Xian would be able to handle the 100-eyed demonic sage more easily in the future. In fact, he was eager to fight the 100-eyed demon saint again. He wanted to dig out more eye techniques. With a shift of his figure, he rushed out and looked around. The next moment, he was surprised to see that the silver light was still there. As expected, he saw that the silver light had dimmed in the distance, but it had not completely dissipated. It was the silver light that had lured the 100-eyed demonic sage away. What exactly was it? Let's take a look. Lin Xian's figure flickered and flew toward the silver light. Above a mountain peak, multicolored light shot out in endless streaks. The great Tao was useless, a few giant creatures occupying this place. One of them was a majestic golden lion with a towering demonic aura. Obviously, it was a powerful beast. On the other side, there was a giant purple elephant with 3 heads and tusks. It had a pair of ferocious wings. On top of a mountain next to it, there was another giant creature. It was a giant python. It was so huge that its body covered the mountain. Its giant head was bigger than a valley. Its aura was no weaker than the other 2. The 3 great beasts were circling in the silver light. And opposite the 3 great demons stood a young girl with purple hair. This purple-haired girl was very beautiful. It could even be said that she was extremely beautiful and had an ethereal temperament. Such a beautiful girl was fearless in the face of 3 monstrous demons. She even had a faint smile on her face. She played with her hair with one hand and said indifferently, "Are the 3 of you really going to make a move on me? You have to think about the consequences. Junior, don't go too far. We've been guarding this silver fir Xianwood for thousands of years. Now that it's matured, do you think you can just pluck it away?" The golden lion said coldly, its voice shaking the 9 heavens. "Leave your things behind and leave quickly. We won't hurt you." On the other side, the 3 giant elephants had the same cold voice. The giant python coiled around the mountain peak let out a ferocious roar. "If you dare to spout any more nonsense, I'll eat you. If you dared to make a move, you would have done so long ago. Do you still need to threaten me?" The purple-haired girl's lips curled up in disdain. "I'm going to take it. Even if you don't want to, you have to. I advise you to leave obediently. You can even form a good karma. Who knows, you might need my help in the future." As she spoke, she looked around and looked to the side. "You big centipede, hurry up and leave." "What? Do you want to make a move on me?" "Humph." Not far away, a figure snorted coldly. It was the 100-eyed demon saint. His true form was indeed a centipede. The 100-eyed demon saint was usually an unruly person, but he did not dare to make a move in front of the purple-haired girl. "You can take it, but you can't take it completely. Everyone has a share. You have to give me a share," the 100-eyed demon saint said coldly. "Give you a share? You stinky centipede, do you think I'm afraid of you? Do you think I'm afraid of you?" The purple-haired girl was not afraid of the powerful 100-eyed demon saint. "If that's the case, don't blame me for making a move." The 100 eyes on the 100-eyed demon saint's body emitted a demonic light. It was obvious that he could not take it anymore. "It's not like we haven't fought before. Are you a match for me?" The purple-haired girl shook her head slightly. "It won't do you any good if we continue fighting." As she spoke, she suddenly raised her eyebrows and revealed a look of surprise. Someone else had come. Not only her, but the 100-eyed demon saint also turned his head to look. The 3 demons were also stunned. Is there someone else who doesn't know what's good for him and dares to come? It's him, that brat. The 100-eyed demon saint suddenly raised his disdain. What an idiot. He naturally saw that the person who came was Lin Xian through his eye technique. Buzz! One of the 3 giant elephants roared to the sky, and the world spun around with its trunk. In the distance, Lin Xian came nearby and also felt a few powerful auras. He carefully prepared to hide. But at this moment, he realized that the wind and clouds around him changed and the world was turned upside down. "Oh no, I've been discovered." Before he could do anything, he was directly swept over. In the next moment, he arrived nearby and was wrapped in a silver light. As soon as he appeared, his body swayed, but he quickly stabilized himself. Demon saints! And there were 3 of them. What a powerful demon aura! Lin Xian held his breath. Then, he realized that there was another human girl. The 100-eyed demon saint was also here. "Reckless brat, is this a place where you can come?" The 100-eyed demon saint had a look of disdain. The giant python in front of him snorted coldly. Since he was an ant, he should die. He realized that Lin Xian's cultivation was only at the 3rd firmament. Even the purple-haired girl frowned slightly. Would someone with such a cultivation dare to come here? Buzz! The giant python opened its mouth and swept over like a vortex, completely enveloping the world. Lin Xian felt a powerful force trying to drag him into the giant python. He snorted coldly, and his body shone brightly as he threw out a punch. The sky fell and the earth cracked. The force was immediately dispersed by him. I saw the phenomenon and came to take a look. If I'm disturbing you, I'll leave. Why do you have to eat me as soon as you come? Lin Xian said coldly. This scene stunned the three demons. The purple-haired girl also covered her mouth and chuckled. Interesting. You're only at the third firmament, but your strength is so strong. You're very surprising. Lin Xian glanced at her and smiled. The fairy was even more impressive. She was able to fight against 3 greater demons by herself without any fear. And from the looks of it, you must have obtained a treasure. The aura on your body is too strong. You have sharp eyes. Why? Do you want to steal my treasure too? The purple-haired girl suddenly smiled. Her smile made the world lose its color. Even Lin Xian was stunned. What a beautiful girl. Soon, he came back to his senses. Forget it, since the treasure has an owner, why would I interfere? Goodbye. He turned and left. You think you can come and go as you please? Where do you think you are? The golden lion said coldly. The golden light on his body was like the sun, with an incomparable aura. Chapter 3679. What do you want then? Lin Xian turned his head around and faced the few great demons. He was still fearless. Lin Xian's attitude completely angered the 3 great beasts. The purple-haired girl was not afraid of them because of her extraordinary status. Even they had to be wary of her. But this human boy, what right did he have? How dare a mere third heaven sage be so arrogant in front of them? He was courting death. The 3 great demons were enraged. They wanted to attack, their holy might overflowing into the sky. The 100-eyed beast sage said, Why do you 3 have to deal with such a piece of trash? I'll do it. He knew the 3 great beasts. After all, he was a native of the East Spirit Realm, and went to the 1,000 Beasts city later. The 3 great beasts nodded. The 100 Eyes demonic saint was their junior. It would be best if the 100 Eyes demonic saint took action. The 3 of them should think about how to deal with the purple-haired girl. Kid, I spared your life last time. How dare you come here again? If that's the case, go to hell. I said your eye is mine. The 100-eyed beast sage walked over and stared at Lin Xian. You spared my life? How dare you say that? You didn't get the upper hand last time. Lin Xian snorted in disdain. The 100-eyed beast sage gritted his teeth at the mention of this. Indeed, he had used several eye techniques but failed to do anything to Lin Xian. Instead, he injured his right eye. If this were to spread, he would lose face. Damn kid, go to hell. The eye of heavenly wind twitched and turned into a blue light. The ghost eye spread and summoned ghosts. The other eye techniques were also used. Divine abilities that blotted out the sky and covered the earth enveloped Lin Xian. The 3 great beasts nodded slightly. Not bad. The 100-eyed beast sage has grown to this level. More importantly, he was less than 2,000 years old. He had a bright future. Is this kid okay? The purple-haired girl was confused. Can this human boy block so many eye techniques? Buzz. Lin Xian did not dodge at all in the face of such a terrifying eye technique attack. On the contrary, his lips curled into a sneer. Forming a series of hand seals, a golden light flickered in his eyes. Divine eyes, myriad transformation eyes. The light continued to revolve as the power of the great dragon sword spirit poured into his eyes. A golden light blade flew out and collided with Tianfeng Yan's light blade. The 2 collided in the sky. On the other side, Lin Xian's left eye spun and opened. A golden vortex appeared, and a horse carrying a headless rider rushed out. This time, the headless eccentric warrior's body shone with golden light, and 2 pairs of wings grew out of its back. It carried the aura of the Tao of Dragons. This was an enhanced version of the headless horseman. Its power was even more terrifying than before. As soon as he appeared, his spear trembled violently, sending the surrounding specters flying. His powerful strength caused everyone's expressions to change. He actually blocked it. That was too inconceivable. The three great demons were astonished. They knew how powerful the 100-eyed demon overlord's eye technique was. But now, this human youth in the third heaven was able to block it. There was a difference of 2 heavens between them. How did he do it? The purple-haired girl's face was also filled with shock. Interesting. Since that's the case, I won't be polite. Ha! She shouted and wanted to leave. You want to leave? Stay. The 3 great demons were furious and frantically tried to stop her. I'm not afraid of you. The purple-haired girl waved her hand and shot out a 7-colored light to resist. The battle between the two broke out, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. On the other side, Lin Xian blocked the 100-eyed demon overlord's attack. The 100-eyed demon overlord was extremely shocked. How could it be? It had only been a few days since they last met. How could his eye technique have improved to such a level? Furthermore, why did the man's move look so similar to his eye technique? He could use many eye techniques because he had many eyes. His opponent only had 1 pair of eyes. How could he use so many eye techniques? That was great. Lin Xian was very pleased with the fact that his attack was much stronger than before. He said, "What else do you have? Show me. If you don't have any, I'm going to fight back." Damned kid, don't be so arrogant. The 100-eyed demon overlord was completely enraged. A third heaven ant dared to provoke him. He could not tolerate it. With a roar, a raging fire appeared in his left eye and floated out. Go to hell! As soon as the fire appeared, the heavens and the earth shook violently. The void in the sky was also ignited. I don't believe that I can't burn you to death. This was not an ordinary fire. It was the triple true fire, which was extremely powerful. Facing this kind of fire, even a 5th heaven saint would not dare to try it, let alone a 3rd heaven saint. Although his opponent's eye technique was strange, his defense was much weaker than his. He would definitely not be able to withstand the triple true fire. Fire? Lin Xian laughed. Although he could feel the power of the fire, he was not afraid. Instead, he went up to meet it. His body was bathed in the fire. Come on! What the 9-yang divine body needed the most was all kinds of strange flames. These flames could temper his body and make his physique 1 step closer. Is this kid crazy? The 100-eyed demon overlord thought that his opponent was an idiot who came to die. However, after a while, he realized that it was not the case. His opponent seemed to be using his triple true fire to cultivate. Damn it! What does he think I am? A sparring machine? Burn! The eye technique in his left eye rotated, and the triple true fire increased. It covered the sky and earth, forming a furnace that wanted to refine Lin Xian completely. Lin Xian's divine body glowed as he absorbed and used this power. Is he angry? He felt his divine body tremble slightly. Some parts of his body even cracked and blood flowed out. However, he did not care. It was good. He could use this opportunity to break through his divine body. Lin Xian's eyes glowed. He formed a seal with his palms and absorbed with all his strength. At the same time, he used all kinds of eye techniques to resist the 100-eyed demon overlord's attack. The 100-eyed demon overlord was so angry that he shouted, "Damn kid! You have completely angered me." The vertical eye between his eyebrows suddenly trembled. The sound of thunder could be heard. Lin Xian frowned. He did not continue to refine his body. Instead, he retreated from the triple true fire as if he was facing a great enemy. That eye was so terrifying. Just a twitch of it made his hair stand on end. Kid, you have completely angered me. I will kill you. The 100-eyed demon overlord's expression was ferocious. Although he still had many eye techniques, he did not plan to use them. He wanted to use the most powerful one to kill his opponent. The eye between his eyebrows was very powerful. Once it appeared, a 5th heaven saint would not be his opponent. It could even threaten a small saint. He did not believe that his opponent could block it this time. Chapter 3680. No, I can't let him open his eyes. Lin Xian also felt his hair stand on end. He flipped his hand and the killer Saint Peak appeared in his hand. Go! Lin Xian ordered. The killer Saint Peak turned into a streak of golden light and charged forward. Ah! A miserable cry was heard. Damn it, how dare you hurt me! Although the 100-eyed demon sage's eye was terrifying, it would still take some time for it to open. At this moment, before he could open his eyes, his left eye had been attacked. A streak of golden light pierced his eye. Fortunately, he had closed his eye at the critical moment, but it still pierced his eye a little. He felt a piercing pain. What is that? He kept attacking with the eye of heavenly wind and sent the golden light flying. He saw that it was a bee. Damn it! The 100-eyed demon sage was furious. He had been ambushed. He felt a burning pain in his left eye and could not open it at all. Blood even flowed out. I'm injured. I'm injured again. His right eye had been injured by his opponent's sword chi, and now his left eye was injured as well. Both eyes were closed and bleeding. If he did not have hundreds of eyes, he would have been blinded by his opponent. Damn you, kid! Just you wait. I won't let you go. The 100-eyed demon sage roared and charged into the sky. Humph! Lin Xian snorted. The next time we meet, it won't be as simple as an eye injury. He recalled the killer Saint Peak. Then, Lin Xian turned and looked into the distance. The battle in the distance was very fierce. The three monsters attacked, trying to stop the purple-haired woman. The purple-haired woman's strength was surprisingly strong. She could still handle the three monsters with ease. Although she did not attack aggressively, Lin Xian was greatly surprised by her body technique. What a strange body technique. She can dodge so many attacks. Who is this woman? He was really curious. At this moment, the giant python could not stand it anymore. It roared and bit at the purple-haired woman as if it could swallow the sky. The golden lion and the three giant elephants made their moves too, unleashing their peerless martial arts. I won't play with you anymore. The purple-haired woman yelled. A pair of almost transparent wings appeared on her back. She flapped them gently and tore the void apart. In the next moment, she appeared in front of Lin Xian. Go! She grabbed Lin Xian with one hand and flapped the wings on her back again. Then, she disappeared. By the time Lin Xian came back to his senses, he realized that she had already left the mountain range. The surrounding water gurgled, birds chirped, and flowers bloomed. The figures of the three great demons had long disappeared. The purple-haired woman was the purple-haired woman. Hey, what are you looking at? Are you stunned? How are you going to repay your savior? The purple-haired woman's Lin Xian came back to his senses. This woman was too fast. TSS speed space. Thank you, fairy, for your help. How should I address you? Xian's. Brat, are you trying to trick me? However, your strength is not bad, and you are qualified to know my name. My name is Li Hongxiu. Is she from the Li family? Lin Xian was surprised. He had never heard of such a powerful Li family. Moreover, he had a feeling that this woman was not human. However, it was their first time meeting, so he did not ask too much. Which family are you from? I think you're quite strong. You dared to fight against the 100-eyed demon overlord at level 3. My name is Lin Wudi. Lin Wudi? What an annoying name! Li Hongxiu's eyes widened. You're too arrogant. How dare you call yourself Wudi? That's not your real name, is it? Lin Xian smiled. Li Hongxiu, that's not your real name, is it? That's right, Li Hongxiu is the name I gave myself. Lin Wudi is also the name I gave myself. You're getting more and more to my liking. Li Hongxiu smiled. In the following conversation, Lin Xian briefly explained his mission and situation. At the same time, he learned that Li Hongxiu was not a disciple of the sacred city. She was not here to participate in the trial. She was bored and came here to have fun. Lin Xian's mouth twitched. She's really bold to have fun in such a dangerous place. You can continue to have fun. I don't have time to play with you. I have to find the East Spirit Stone. Lin Xian calculated the time and decided to leave quickly. The East Spirit Stone? Since I have nothing to do, why don't I accompany you? Then, the two of them went on their way. On the other side, Di Ling's face was extremely gloomy. He had escaped from Lin Xian and arrived at a safe place. First, he healed his injuries. Then, when he spat out the bronze coffin again and saw the ancient corpse inside, his handsome face became extremely distorted. The sword marks on the ancient corpse had not disappeared. Damn it! He could only use all his strength to perform the technique to repair it. He had no choice. This was his biggest reliance. He could not let anything happen to it. Di Ling's physique was very special. It could be seen from his name that it was like a cemetery that could nourish corpses. Therefore, he put the ancient corpse into the bronze coffin again and swallowed the bronze coffin into his stomach. He began to use his body's bloodline to restore the ancient corpse. Finally, he paid a huge price and swallowed countless treasures to restore the ancient corpse. Damn brat, I won't forgive you. Di Ling opened his eyes. His eyes were shining with the light of revenge. He wanted to immediately go back and kill Lin Xian. However, he knew that doing so would be useless. He could not act rashly. Lin Xian's trump card was very strong. He had to think of a way to secretly kill Lin Xian. Previously, he was disdainful, but now he was no match for Lin Xian. Moreover, subconsciously, he did not dare to fight Lin Xian head-on. This showed that he was completely afraid of Lin Xian. However, the killing intent in his heart did not weaken at all. Instead, it grew stronger. If I can't kill you head-on, then I'll use other methods. I don't believe you can withstand it. He closed his eyes again and began to prepare. He refined something. That was a poison that he extracted from the ancient corpse. It was called the ancient corpse poison. This poison was very terrifying. Moreover, the ancient corpse in his hand was obviously very strong. Therefore, the poison in its body was also very strong. Finally, after spending a lot of effort, he was able to refine it. He carefully stored it in a black gourd and a cold smile appeared on his face. Brat, let's see how you're going to die. His figure flashed and he disappeared into the void. Di Ling shuttled through the forest. He formed a seal with one hand and began to search for Lin Xian. He did not know where Lin Xian was, but the last time he fought with Lin Xian, he left some of the ancient corpse's aura on Lin Xian's body. Although it was very weak, he could find the connection if he used all his strength. Sure enough, not long after, he sneered. He found it. He could not help but speed up. Chapter 3681. 3 days later, he finally landed on a mountain. Standing at the top of the mountain, Di Ling looked into the distance. Tens of thousands of miles away was Lin Xian. He did not get too close. There was someone else beside him. It was not Shinjingqiu. Di Ling was surprised. He noticed that there was a girl beside Lin Xian. She was a purple-haired girl who was extremely beautiful. He had never seen her before. I don't care who you are. Since you're with that kid, you should go to hell with him. The murderous intent in Di Ling's eyes appeared again. He took out the black gourd and clenched his fists. His figure flickered as he performed a secret technique and began to move stealthily. In front of him, under an ancient tree, Lin Xian and Li Hongxiu were resting. They had obtained the 6th piece and were 3 pieces away from completing the mission. Lin Xian was looking forward to it. Li Hongxiu said, "So you're from Wushuang City? Wushuang City is a good place." The two of them chatted. Suddenly, they frowned at the same time and looked into the distance. Someone was there. Humph, Li Hongxiu sneered. Someone dares to follow me. Lin Xian also frowned. A golden light appeared in his eyes. Di Ling! That guy still dares to come? He stood up and said, "He's coming for me. Am I exposed?" Di Ling frowned. He did not have much hope. He knew that Lin Xian's eye technique was very powerful. Buzz! He stopped and threw out the black gourd. Kid, go to hell! The black gourd streaked across the sky like a bolt of black lightning, charging towards Lin Xian and Li Hongxiu. Lin Xian frowned. What is Di Ling doing? Why is he attacking from so far away? He felt that something was not right. However, before he could say anything, Li Hongxiu snorted and threw out a palm strike. The 7-colored law slashed down like a sharp knife. It hit the black gourd. With a clang, the black gourd was split in half. I thought it was an expression. I didn't expect it to be a broken gourd. Li Hongxiu curled her lips in disdain. However, in the next moment, her expression changed. Lin Xian also frowned. Not good, retreat quickly. The two of them quickly retreated, but it was too late. A green mist appeared from the black gourd and flew towards them. In an instant, it enveloped them. Damn it, this is poison, hurry up and defend yourself. Lin Xian roared. It didn't take long for the poisonous mist to seep into his body, weakening his strength. His internal organs were on the verge of being infected. Not good. Lin Xian's expression changed drastically. What kind of poison was this? It was too terrifying. His god body couldn't withstand it. He instantly stopped. Then, he quickly circulated the great dragon's sword soul to attack his body. They turned into streaks of sword chi to destroy the poisonous gas. On the other side, Li Hongxiu also felt the poisonous gas entering her body. She also came to a halt. Damn it! It was corpse poison, and it was the poison of an ancient sage's corpse. How dare you plot against me? She was furious. In the distance, when Di Ling saw this, he raised his head to the sky and laughed. Ha 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 ha, success. From the looks of it, they must have been poisoned. Once they were poisoned, they couldn't resist at all. It wouldn't be long before they turned into a pool of blood. Thinking of this, he proudly strode forward. In a few steps he arrived nearby. Seeing the two of them struggling in the green poisonous mist with black faces, Di Ling laughed even more happily. Lin Xian said as he used the great dragon sword's soul to expel the poison. This person came for me, but I didn't expect to implicate you. How are you? Are you okay? I'll help you after I expel the poison. Unexpectedly, Li Hongxiu said. No, I was worried about you. Since you're fine, I don't have to worry about you. Don't worry, I'll help you deal with this person. Li Hongxiu shouted, and the 5-colored light in her body burst out, directly expelling the poison. Boom! Li Hongxiu exploded. Like a peerless goddess, she slapped her jade-like hand forward. In an instant, it enveloped Di Ling. To be honest, Di Ling didn't expect this woman to be able to fight back. In his opinion, the two of them were definitely going to die, so he didn't think of defending at all. With a boom, he was sent flying. With a scream, he vomited blood and flew backward. Damn it! Di Ling roared to the sky and rushed over. He wanted to attack, but he was slapped to the ground. Li Hongxiu's strength was beyond his imagination. Di Ling staggered and fell to the ground. Half of his body was shattered. His face was full of horror. Lin Xian was also stunned. Damn, this chick is so strong? To be honest, he didn't expect this. One had to know that even though he didn't place the Imperial Mausoleum in his eyes, it wouldn't be that easy to defeat the Imperial Mausoleum. At least, it was impossible to defeat him in a few moves. However, Li Hongxiu did it easily. This woman was too terrifying. Di Ling also found out. Damn it! With a roar, he turned around and fled. Anyway, Lin Xian was already poisoned. There was no use for him to stay here. Moreover, the woman in front of him was too terrifying. It made his hair stand on end. He even felt that this woman was more terrifying than the 100-eyed demon sage. You take your time to expel the poison. I'll go after him. He dared to trick me. I'll make him pay the price. Li Hongxiu said in a low voice. Her body turned into a stream of 7-colored light and instantly rushed out. Not long after, Ling's scream could be heard from afar. Damn it, I'll fight it out with you. Di Ling opened his mouth and spat out a coffin. The corpse of the ancient sage rushed out. So what if the other party was strong? Could it be that the other party was a minor saint? As long as it wasn't a minor saint, he could resist. Although summoning the corpse of the ancient sage put a lot of pressure on him, he couldn't care less. You still have the corpse of the ancient sage? But do you think you can do anything to me? Li Hongxiu attacked aggressively. The corpse of the ancient sage was forced to retreat. Many handprints appeared on its powerful body. Di Ling was going crazy. Who is she? She's too terrifying. The corpse of the ancient sage could fight against a minor saint. Run. He didn't dare to stay any longer. He drove the bronze coffin and quickly fled. Li Hongxiu attacked again. On the other side, although Lin Xian was poisoned, the great dragon sword spirit was very strong. It quickly eliminated the poison. Then, his body was covered with dragon-shaped sword qi. He walked out of the green poison mist. Damn it! Di Ling was so insidious. Lin Xian's face turned cold as well. Even a saint of the fifth heaven would die from this poison. Fortunately, he had the great dragon sword spirit. But thinking about it, Di Ling's end would be very miserable. With Li Hongxiu chasing after him, he would be severely injured even if he didn't die. He opened the great sage pagoda and took out the heavenly Luo umbrella. The soul imprint on the heavenly Luo umbrella had been removed by the sky flame. He branded it with his own soul imprint. Then, he activated the heavenly Luo umbrella and collected all the poison. Although half of it had been consumed, there was still half left. It was enough. It was also a great weapon for Lin Xian. Chapter 3682. It was a blessing in disguise. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Let's go. I'm not worried about Li Hongxiu. That girl was much scarier than him. She would probably be able to deal with a real small saint. Lin Xian went on his way again, looking for the seventh Eastern Spirit Stone. At this moment, Xin Jingqiu stood there in the rain with a solemn expression. There were many sages around her. There were demonic beasts, humans, and even killing intent in the void from time to time. It seemed that she was being besieged. Girl, hand over the treasures on you and I can spare your life. You're quite pretty. Accompany me for a year. I happen to be lacking a cauldron. You can follow me. A few sneers were heard. They stared at Xin Jingqiu with a fiery light in their eyes. Such a peerless beauty was definitely rare. Xin Jingqiu snorted coldly. Her delicate face was covered with ice. She did not say anything but attacked decisively. A purple cloud appeared on her body, carrying with it the law. It was very small. At the same time, her jade-like hands formed a seal. On her palm, the purple qi became stronger and stronger, like a purple sun. This was a great ability called the Purple Light Dao Flower. You still want to fight? Take her down and we'll enjoy it together. One of them shouted angrily. Lightning surged from his body to resist the Purple Light Dao Flower. At the same time, there were two demon sages who relied on their strong physiques to resist the purple cloud. A sonorous sound rang out, and a great battle broke out. Although she was being besieged, Xin Jingqiu did not fall into a disadvantage for a while. The surrounding people were shocked. It seems that she's a genius. So what? One of them sneered. Terrifying flames bloomed from his body. It was a fiery divine bird with a human head. The flames on his body were very terrifying. He slapped out with his claws, carrying monstrous flames that covered a part of the world. Xin Jingqiu shouted. She pushed her jade-like hand forward. The law on it was incomparable. She was going to face the opponent's flame head-on. At the same time, she pulled out a sunrise sword with her left hand and slashed in all directions. Boom! Boom! The earth trembled and the void collapsed. Those people were unable to succeed for a while. There were even a few sages who were sent flying. The scene was very shocking. Damn it! At this time, a ray of light lit up the sky and pierced towards Xin Jingqiu's back. Xin Jingqiu's body. Not good. She dodged quickly, but the dagger still stabbed her shoulder. Blood flowed out and dyed her long dress red. There was a killer. Xin Jingqiu quickly sealed her wound and was on high alert. She didn't expect that there would be assassins hiding in the void. That's great, this little girl is injured. Humph, let's see how she's going to fight now. These people were sinister as they took action again. These people carried the laws of heaven and earth as they continuously attacked. Even the hidden assassins attacked again. Shinjinchio yelled and activated her spirit body. Purple light burst out from her eyes and her body was covered in a layer of light. The power from all directions quickly surged into her body, and her cultivation continued to soar. In an instant, he had reached the fourth heavenly layer, and it was still increasing. It even showed signs of increasing towards the fifth heaven. Damn it, what's going on? There's something wrong with this woman. Stop her! She's using a secret technique. The surrounding sages went crazy. They had never seen such an increase in cultivation in their entire lives. In the sky, 2 beams of sword light slashed Shinjinchio's body and forced her to retreat. Only then did she stop the increase in cultivation. Now, she had reached the late stage of the fourth heavenly layer. Just this cultivation alone was the same as dealing. This made the surrounding people's hair stand on end. It's too scary. Fortunately, we have more people and can take her down together. We must find out the secret of this sudden increase in cultivation. These people's eyes were red. If they could master this divine ability, who would be their opponent in future battles? Shinjinchio yelled. After her cultivation increased, her strength increased a lot. Therefore, with one palm, she sent 2 sages flying and their bodies exploded. For a moment, the surrounding people were terrified. However, Shinjinchio wasn't too happy because the 2 assassins hiding in the dark were too strange. It was impossible for her to guard against them. If it weren't for these 2 assassins, she would have defeated the surrounding people long ago. Another sword came at her from a strange angle, aiming for her neck. Shinjinchio yelled and sent out a palm while dodging quickly. The sword missed, and her palm also missed. That assassin's movement technique was too strange. However, her cultivation had increased tremendously. Just her aura alone was enough to send that assassin flying. Blood flowed from the sky, but Shinjinchio's situation was not optimistic. The other assassin also attacked suddenly and left another wound on her body. Lin Xian had been rushing. The 7th East Spirit Stone should be in front of him. He was a little excited. However, at this moment, his brows suddenly twitched. There were sounds of fighting, and there were quite a few people. He used his divine ability and looked ahead. In the next moment, he was stunned, and his face completely darkened. With a roar, he turned into a peerless sword light and rushed over. Little girl, you can't hold on any longer, right? Be a good girl and surrender. You can suffer less. Don't struggle. Although you have a secret technique, you're no match for so many of us. Moreover, there were assassins in the dark. You're already at the end of your rope. Don't worry, when we catch you later, we won't torture you. We'll love you. These people laughed loudly. However, just as they finished laughing, their heads exploded. Blood splattered on the faces of the surrounding people. Who's that? The surrounding people screamed crazily, and the hair on their bodies stood on end. Shinjinchio was also stunned. Did someone come to save me? In the next moment, she saw a figure appear in front of her. That person's body was covered in a monstrous golden light, and his eyes were filled with piercing, killing intent. He threw a punch and directly smashed a sage into pieces. The surrounding people's expressions all changed. Who is that? He's too strong, isn't he? Big Brother Lin. Shinjinchio exhaled and heaved a sigh of relief. That's right, the person who came was indeed Lin Xian. He was here to look for the East Spirit Stone, but he did not expect to encounter Shinjinchio and be surrounded. Therefore, he came to kill her. It turned out that he was this woman's companion. Kill him! The surrounding people roared crazily and rushed forward. All of you must die. Lin Xian's expression was cold. He attacked wildly, and each attack injured someone. These sages frantically retreated. No, he's too strong. Damn it, who is this kid? Retreat. These people looked terrified. Then, at this moment, a ray of light lit up in the sky and pierced towards Lin Xian's back. Oh no, be careful, Big Brother Lin. There's an assassin. Shinjingqiu screamed. However, it was already too late. The surrounding people sneered. Great, let this kid die. Chapter 3683. Once he's injured, I'll capture him and chop him into pieces. I'll make him wish he was dead. These people clutched their wounds, their faces contorted. Lin Xian felt his hair stand on end. Were there assassins? No wonder Chiao was injured. These assassins were too strange. Even he hadn't noticed them before. However, it wasn't that easy to kill him. He didn't even turn back. He continued to chase after the saints in front of him. Is this kid an idiot? Hurry up and kill him. The people in front kept retreating. At the same time, they were extremely agitated. They had met an idiot. He didn't even dodge the assassins. Let's see how he's going to die. With a clang, a killing sword slashed onto Lin Xian's body, producing a clanging sound. However, to everyone's horror, the flying sword was sent flying. Countless sparks flew, and the void shattered. Only a white mark was left on Lin Xian's body. It didn't pierce through at all. How is this possible? What kind of physique does this kid have? The surrounding sages were all stunned. The assassin in the void seemed to be stunned as well. He paused for a moment. Lin Xian took advantage of this opportunity. He turned around and kicked. It was like a heavenly knife. With a crack, the assassin's body was broken in half. A miserable groan was heard. Blood spurted out. The assassin screamed. However, he was very decisive. He turned into a streak of flowing light and hid in the void again. Everyone was going crazy. This person was really too scary. Such a terrifying assassin couldn't even hurt him. Instead, he was severely injured by a single move. Suddenly, they had the intention to retreat. At this moment, something strange happened. Another assassin attacked Shinjingqiu. Shinjingqiu was still agitated. She didn't defend herself. She was stabbed in the back and almost fell into a pool of blood. When Lin Xian saw this, he was completely enraged. He stepped in front of Shinjingqiu and hugged her to stop her bleeding. At the same time, his voice was emotionless and cold. His golden eyes looked in all directions. All of you can go to hell. He lifted his hand and unleashed the heavenly Luo umbrella. It bloomed in the air and sealed off the area. At the same time, the corpse poison inside started to flow out. Not good. Run! Screams rang out one after another as these people fought back madly. But very quickly, they let out miserable shrieks. Such a horrifying poison was something they could not withstand at all. Even the two assassins were trapped. They frantically tried to break out of the encirclement, using their powerful movement techniques. However, the heavenly Luo umbrella was definitely a saint artifact. It would not be so easy to break through. As long as they breathed in a trace of the poisonous gas, they would definitely die. Sure enough, the two assassins gradually stopped attacking. In front of him, a green poisonous gas lingered in the air, as cries of agony could be heard. However, Lin Xian ignored him completely. He looked down at Shinjingqiu and asked, "Are your injuries serious?" "Don't worry, it's just some superficial wounds. It won't hurt my foundation." Shinjingqiu shook her head and sat down cross-legged. She swallowed a medicinal pill and began to treat her injuries. Half a day later, she recovered and stood up. She asked, "What happened to those people?" Lin Xian said that they were probably all dead. With a wave of his hand, the heavenly Luo umbrella was put away. The remaining poison was also absorbed into the umbrella. The scene in front of him appeared. 7 corpses were lying on the ground, and only bones were left. There were also some weapons and storage rings left behind. The flesh and blood of those people had long been gone, and their souls had been poisoned to death. It was too terrifying. Shinjingqiu was also surprised. Those were all powerful saints, but they were all dead. What kind of poison was that? Lin Xian took back all the weapons and storage rings of those people. He threw the storage rings to Shinjingqiu. "Take it. These are your compensation. Then I won't stand on ceremony." She took them. As for the weapons, Lin Xian looked at them and found that they were useless, so he casually put them away. Big brother Lin, where are we going next? Xin Jingqiu picked up Little White and asked. On the other side, Lin Xian also summoned the earth demon demonic rat. This guy is very familiar with this place. Let's go and collect the East Spirit Stones. How many pieces have you collected? Lin Xian asked. 5 pieces. I have 7 pieces. We'll finish collecting them soon. Next, the two of them went together and began to collect the East Spirit Stones. A month later, the two of them had collected all the East Spirit Stones. That's great. Lin Xian beamed with joy. He also raised a smile. Let's go to Dongling Mountain. We can go back now. Do you think we'll be the first to arrive? That's for sure. Dongling Mountain was also very famous in the Eastern Spirit Realm. The two of them flew for 5 days and finally saw the mountains in front of them. The tallest one was Dongling Mountain. I've helped you complete your mission. Can you let me go? The Earth Demon Demonic Rat asked carefully. Lin Xian was in a good mood. He said, Sure. If there's a chance in the future and I can come here again, then we'll work together again. He removed the seal on the Earth Demon Demonic Rat and waved goodbye. The Earth Demon Demonic Rat also burrowed into the ground and disappeared. Let's go. Dongling Mountain is right in front of us. We don't need anyone to show us the way. Although it was right in front of them, it was still more than 200,000 miles away. When they were about 100,000 miles away, they were stopped again. There was a group of people in front of them. There were a total of 9 people, and they all had an extremely violent aura. They lined up in a row like a river, blocking the way. Who are you? Why are you blocking the way? Lin Xian asked in a deep voice. A couple? The man opposite sneered. Kid, you're going to Dongling Mountain, right? Seems like you're here for the assessment. Hand over the East Spirit Stone obediently and get lost. We can spare your life. Robbery. Lin Xian frowned. Xin Jingqiu reminded him softly. Brother Lin, be careful. Their aura is very unusual. Indeed, the aura on these people was very violent. Didn't you hear what I said? A tall man walked out. Kid, I advise you not to make a mistake. Do you know who we are? We're from Thunder God City. If you provoke us, do you think you can still survive in the second astral realm? Kneel on the ground obediently and hand over the things. Thunder God City? Lin Xian was stunned. Thunder God City was the same as Wushuang City, a saint city. Moreover, Lin Xian was no stranger to Thunder God City. When he was in the first astral realm, he had a conflict with Thunder God City. At that time, it was Lei Qianzhong who was killed by him. He didn't expect to meet people from Thunder God City again, and under such circumstances. Thunder God City is really nothing. They only know how to do sneaky things. You have the nerve to call yourself a Saint City's disciple. I think you haven't passed the assessment yet. Lin Xian sneered. What do you know? We've passed the assessment long ago. We're here for the trial. The leading young man also stood out, his voice cold. Kid, I only wanted you to kneel and hand over the East Spirit Stone, but I've changed my mind. Not only do you have to hand over the East Spirit Stone, you have to leave your woman behind. Moreover, I'll teach you how to break your teeth one by one. Take him down, the young man ordered. Immediately, the people beside him walked out. Chapter 3684. How dare you say that our boss is angry? Now you're dead meat. The person who walked out was a late-stage third heaven sage. He had a lightning blade on his back, and his powerful aura made people tremble. Buzz! The sage pulled out his lightning blade. With a slash of the blade, thunder rumbled in the sky, and a violent force filled the world. Lin Xian didn't care. He was just a late-stage third heaven sage. He didn't even care about a fourth heaven emperor mausoleum. Not to mention these people. With a cold snort, he attacked. The golden fist and the opponent's lightning blade collided. It was as if a huge explosion had occurred between heaven and earth. The Thunder-type sage's expression changed. He felt as if a mountain had crashed into him. His blade was trembling non-stop. Even his entire arm was trembling violently. Damn it! With a roar, the lightning on his body exploded, and the law of thunder surrounded him. His heart was filled with fear. His opponent's strength was beyond his imagination. How could an early-stage third heaven sage be so strong? He gathered his strength and wanted to explode, but the fist opposite him exploded first. Lin Xian's fist was full of power. After the first strike, the subsequent power surged forth and instantly shattered the lightning blade. Not only that, but one of the opponent's arms also exploded. With a blood-curdling scream, the lightning-type saint was sent flying. The people behind were completely stunned. Their powerhouse had been defeated. He had been defeated by someone whose cultivation was lower than theirs. With such strength, you want to learn how to fight and rob others? Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disdain. Damn it, this kid is too strange. You trash, you can't even take care of an early-stage third heaven sage. The leader's face was incomparably cold. The injured person said, Boss, you can't blame me. He's really too strong. His strength is very strong. Very strong? Looks like he's a close combat expert. We don't need to talk about morality. Just attack him. Yes, boss. 2 more people walked out. These 2 people also had terrifying lightning on their bodies. One of them held a thunder hammer while the other held a thunder heaven net. The 2 of them didn't say anything as they unleashed their full power. Terrifying thunderbolts intertwined, blotting out the sky and covering the earth, trying to completely envelop Lin Xian. In the face of such a terrifying lightning law, a golden light erupted from Lin Xian's eyes. It suddenly transformed into countless black Qilin runes, forming a black Qilin shield in front of him. All of the lightning bolts struck it, creating an earth-shattering sound. It was as if there were tens of thousands of thunderclaps. The black Qilin's toughness was much tougher than expected. It blocked all the lightning attacks. Lin Xian attacked again. His golden eyes flickered with radiance, forming a vortex. Then, a headless knight rushed out, sweeping in all directions. The spear directly pierced through the 2 of them. Like candied haws on a stick, he stared at the void. Holy blood scattered down. The 2 individuals screamed miserably, their expressions horrified. The people of Thunder God City behind were also completely stunned. Was the other party so strong? Was he really just an early-stage third heavenly layer? Why did he look like a 4th heaven sage? Damn brat, who the hell are you? The leading young man gritted his teeth and asked. You bunch of trash don't deserve to know my name. Lin Xian's voice was cold. If you want to live, kneel down, kowtow and admit your mistakes. You're courting death. Don't be too arrogant. Attack together. The young man waved his hand, and the remaining 5 people all rushed over. Each of them was very powerful. Among them, 2 were in the late-stage third heavenly layer, and the remaining 3 were in the middle-stage third heavenly layer. Each of their cultivation was stronger than Lin Xian. At this moment, the 5 of them attacked together. How could they not take down the other party? Seeing this scene, Xin Jingqiu wanted to attack, but Lin Xian stopped her. He formed a seal with his palm, and a blue tide appeared. His eye technique released a green light wave that swept out. The 5 sages instantly hugged their heads and screamed. Their souls seemed to be about to explode, and they instantly lost the ability to attack. Lin Xian sneered and attacked forcefully, chopping off the heads of the 5 people. Then, he turned his head and stared at the leader. The leading young man trembled and took 2 steps back. At this moment, his face was pale and he was extremely shocked. The other party instantly killed 5 sages on their side. It was too unbelievable. He said, You are very strong. This time, I admit defeat. After saying that, he turned around and wanted to leave. Lin Xian smiled. His figure flashed and appeared in front of the other party, blocking his path. You want to leave just like that? Damn kid, what do you want? The young man's face was gloomy. Lin Xian smiled. You want to kill me, but now that you failed, you want to escape unscathed? Do you think that's possible? Could it be that you want to attack me? Do you know who I am? I know that you are from Thunder God City. It's not like I haven't killed you before. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with killing intent. This scene made the other party's eyelids twitch wildly. This kid had killed people from Thunder God City before. Heavens, who is this person? Kid, listen carefully. I am not from an ordinary holy city. My brother is Lei Chong. He is the top genius of Thunder God City. My brother's strength has reached level 5. It is definitely not something you can imagine. If you dare to touch me, you are dead. The young man's mouth was filled with a cold smile. His identity was indeed not ordinary. After listening to his words, the other party still did not obediently apologize to him. However, Lin Xian said, "Oh, are you done? If you are, you can go on your way." A sword light flashed across his hand. Damn it, how dare you! The young man's face changed wildly. How could there be such a person? Was he not afraid of his brother's revenge? He wanted to escape, but how could he be Lin Xian's opponent? He was split into two by the sword. His soul escaped. However, it was quickly locked on by the heavenly secret god eyes and was pulled into the locking spring in autumn. Not only him, the souls of the surrounding people were all pulled into the locking spring in autumn. They experienced 10,000 years of miserable reincarnation. Then, they were completely destroyed. Brother Lin is too powerful. Xinjingqiu cheered. At this moment, on the corpse of the leading young man, a jade pendant floated out. An extremely strong spiritual fluctuation came from within. Who is it? How dare you kill my brother? That soul transformed into a human face, but it had just formed. It was shattered by Lin Xian with a slap. A mere level 5. How dare you be arrogant in front of me? Next, he burned all of these people's corpses and took away all of their storage rings. Lin Xian and Xinjingqiu once again set off towards Dongling Mountain. Within a cave dwelling within Dongling Mountain, a figure stood up abruptly and roared towards the heavens. Who dares to hurt my brother? I will definitely tear you into pieces. The lightning on this person's body turned into lightning beasts, floating above his head. The people in the surrounding cave also came out and asked, Senior Brother Lei Chong, what is going on? These people were all from Thunder God City. They looked at the angry Lei Chong with a face full of shock. This was their sacred city's top genius. Who dared to provoke him? Chapter 3685. Something might have happened to my brother. He might have been killed by someone. Lei Chong said coldly, scaring the people around him. How is that possible? It's true. I can sense it. Hurry down the mountain and find my brother's body. At the same time, the others were looking for anyone who had come to the mountain recently. If there's anyone suspicious, report it to me immediately. Who dares to kill my brother? I will make him pay a painful price. In an instant, a storm was stirred up in Dongling Mountain. Many people knew that Lei Chong's brother had been killed. This was really unbelievable. Lei Chong was a peak genius of the Thunder God City. His younger brother was also from the Thunder God City. Someone actually dared to kill someone from Thunder God City. Did they want to die? Everyone was talking about it. Many people even guessed that it might have been done by the native demonic beasts of the East Spirit World. However, the people of Thunder God City knew that it wasn't. Especially Lei Chong. He firmly believed that it must have been done by other martial artists. Because he was very clear about what his brother had done. He had robbed people who were passing by at a place 100,000 miles away from Dongling Mountain. This kind of behavior couldn't possibly anger demonic beasts. The ones who had to walk were also martial artists. Don't let me catch you. Otherwise, I will tear you into pieces. Lei Chong's face was incomparably cold. On the other side, Lin Xian and Xinjingqiu didn't know that their actions had caused a small storm in Dongling Mountain. Even if they knew, Lin Xian would probably do the same. After all, those people from Thunder God's city were simply courting death. When they entered Dongling Mountain, Shinjingqiu was surprised. Why were there so many guards here? No, why did their aura feel a little like Thunder God's cities? Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. He sent a message to Qiu'er. Be careful. Don't mention anything about us and Thunder God's city. The two of them walked over. During this time, the martial artists of Thunder God's city glanced at them. However, they quickly ignored them. Because of the two of them, Shinjingqiu was at the late stage of the third heaven while Lin Xian was at the early stage of the third heaven. They weren't that eye-catching. In their opinion, such people couldn't kill Lei Chang's brother. Lei Chang's younger brother had brought 9 experts with him. Perhaps only someone at the late stage of the 4th heavenly layer or the 5th heavenly layer would be able to capture those people. The two of them safely entered Spirit Mountain. There were a lot of people inside, and the whole mountain was like a huge city. There were all kinds of pavilions, buildings, and shops. The martial artists here were also here to train, and there were even many demonic beasts walking around. Let's go find Peerless City, their stronghold here. After asking around, the two of them set off towards one of the mountains. On the other side, Lei Chong had been waiting for news. His subordinates kept sending him news. They reported one after another, but did not find any suspicious characters. They were all ordinary saints who had entered. Lei Chong frowned. How could this be? He held a jade pendant in his hand, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. Suddenly, his eyebrows twitched, and the pendant in his hand flickered with a trace of light. He sensed that person. He soared into the sky and looked around. What's wrong, Brother Chong? The martial artists under his command were all stunned. Lei Chong said. That person had already entered the mountain. What? How could this be? The surrounding subordinates were completely stunned. We have been closely monitoring. As long as it is someone at the late stage of the 4th heavenly layer or the 5th heavenly layer, we will immediately report it. However, we have not found such a person at all. You are too careless. It may not be someone at the late stage of the 4th heavenly layer or the 5th heavenly layer. Other cultivations may also be able to do it. For example, a person who has many sacred tools in his hands. Therefore, that person's cultivation is not as high as you think. Lei Chang's voice was biting cold. He naturally knew that there were some geniuses who could fight above their level. Some geniuses even had powerful sacred tools in their hands. Follow me, I can find him. Lei Chong waved his hand and led the martial artists of Thunder God's city to soar into the sky, flying quickly in the air. This scene attracted the attention of many people. Look, those people are from Thunder God's city. The leader should be Lei Chong. Tianya, what are they doing? Look at this murderous aura. Didn't you hear that Lei Chang's younger brother was killed? What? How could it be? Who is it? Screams rang out one after another as many people followed suit. Qiu'er, the mountain of Wushuang City should be in front of us. After we hand over the East Spirit Stones, we should be able to pass the 3rd test. Shinjingqiu also revealed a smile. This is great. The test is finally over. They can finally join Wushuang City. However, at this moment, they stopped. This was because they realized that there were countless lightning intertwining in front of them. It formed a sea of lightning, blocking their path. Damn it, who is it? They raised their heads. They saw more than 10 figures descending from the sky and surrounding them. The leader was wearing a lightning robe. It was his first time using a lightning sword. He had a powerful aura. The people of Thunder God's city had descended and surrounded Lin Xian and Shinjingqiu. Lin Xian asked coldly. Who are you people? Why are you blocking my path? The surrounding martial artists were all watching from the sidelines, whispering to each other. Heavens, what is going on? Thunder God's city actually surrounded this man and woman? Could it be that these two people offended Thunder God's city? I heard that Lei Chang's younger brother was killed. Could it be that these two people did it? How could it be? They were only level 3 saints. Lei Chang's younger brother had 7 to 8 saints under him. How could it be that these two people did it? Everyone was puzzled. We are from Thunder God City, one of the martial artists said coldly. Lei Chang's voice was even colder. He stared at Lin Xian. That's right, it's you. I can feel your aura. It's you who killed my younger brother. Your younger brother? I haven't seen him. Lin Xian shook his head. Lei Chong said. Don't quibble. I can feel your aura. It's definitely you. Be obedient and kneel down to accept your death. I will sacrifice your head to my younger brother. The lightning energy on Lei Chang's body was extremely terrifying. It caused the heaven and earth to rumble continuously. Seeing that the other party was certain, Lin Xian knew that the other party should have concrete evidence. Therefore, he didn't evade. Are you saying that there are people who want to rob us from 100,000 miles away? If it's that kind of trash, that's right. It's indeed me who did it. However, are they from Thunder God City? Since when did Thunder God City become so despicable and shameless to rob others on the road? Is this how the people from Holy City do things? Lin Xian's voice clearly spread in all directions. After the surrounding people heard it, they were all stunned. Lei Chang's younger brother actually robbed others on the road? Heavens, this is too shameless. Lower your voice. Do you want to die? Everyone was shocked. It was indeed shameful to do such a thing in the Holy City. The faces of the people from Thunder God City also sank. Damn brat, are you courting death? Chapter 3686. Lei Chang's expression was cold. I don't care what my brother does, it's his freedom. But if you kill him, you'll definitely die. Are you going to accept your death obediently or resist and let me torture you to death? You can choose one. So domineering, so arrogant. Why don't you ask your brother what despicable things he did to kill me? Since it's like this, there's nothing to say. Let me see what qualifications you have as an elder brother to be so arrogant. Lin Xian was also angry. Lei Chong didn't look like a good person. He wanted to use his powerful background to oppress others. However, was he that easy to bully? You want to fight me? Lei Chong glanced at Lin Xian with disdain in his eyes. The surrounding people also shook their heads. This brat was simply too reckless. He actually dared to fight Lei Chong. Lei Chong was a level 4 late-stage genius. He was able to fight those above his level. How could an early-stage level 3 kid be Lei Chong's opponent? They really didn't know what method he used to kill Lei Chong's brother. It was probably a despicable method. It might be a sneak attack. These people knew Lei Chong's name. Hence, no one was optimistic about Lin Xian. Sure enough, the people from Thunder God City sneered. Kid, if you didn't use despicable methods, would you be able to kill the people from Thunder God City? You want to fight against Brother Chong? Who do you think you are? Brother Chong, I'll kill him. A person walked out. This person was a level 3 late-stage genius. He looked at Lin Xian and sneered. Come, kid, I'll let you have 10 moves. I'll make you kneel on the ground and beg for mercy with one hand. Ha ha. The surrounding people sneered in disdain. He didn't know what death was. Lin Xian shook his head. These people from the God of Thunder were too arrogant and haughty. Did they really think that he was a pushover? Since that was the case, there was no need for him to hold back. He took out the heavenly Luo umbrella and opened it. It froze the space and released the poison gas. At the same time, the heavenly Luo umbrella shot out a ray of light that enveloped him and Xinjingqiu, preventing them from being infected by the poison. This was basically done in the blink of an eye. Therefore, in an instant, the surroundings were filled with green mist. That arrogant Sky Thunder City disciple instantly fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth. His mouth twitched, and green spots appeared all over his body. The surrounding people were stunned at first, but the next moment, they screamed crazily. Not good, there's poison. Damn it, I'm poisoned. What kind of poison is this? I can't even get rid of it. Screams rang out as more than a dozen people fell down one after another. This poison was extremely terrifying. Even a level 5 expert could not withstand it, let alone these people. Lei Chang's expression also changed. Lightning interweaved on his body, forming a ball of lightning that enveloped him. However, he still underestimated this corpse poison. The corpse poison bypassed the lightning ball and directly drilled into his body. His face also turned green, and with a thud he fell to the ground, twitching non-stop. The surrounding people were all stunned. "Oh my God, what's going on?" More than a dozen experts from Thunder God's city were defeated in an instant? This was too unbelievable. This brat was too heaven-defying. Corpse poison! There was a super strong poison in this brat's body. It should be the corpse poison of a saint. No wonder he was so strong. No wonder he could kill Lei Chang's brother. The surrounding people also frantically retreated. Although the corpse poison was sealed in the space and did not attack them, it might be able to escape. Once they inhaled it, even if they didn't die, they would lose a layer of skin. Lin Xian waved his hand and kept the heavenly Luo umbrella and the poison. In fact, he only released a small part of it, but these people already couldn't take it anymore. At this moment, these people fell to the ground, wailing. They no longer had the arrogance from before. Lei Chong was twitching non-stop. He gritted his teeth and roared with difficulty. "Damn it, you're despicable and shameless." "I'm despicable and shameless?" Lin Xian sneered. "You still have the nerve to say such words. You brought a large group of saints to besiege the two of us, and you still dare to say that I'm despicable and shameless? I'm just teaching you a lesson to let you know that you shouldn't be too arrogant outside." The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. The way they looked at Lin Xian changed. Previously, they thought that this brat was courting death. But now, it seemed that he was simply a ruthless character. He used his trump card right from the start, and poisoned a group of experts. "Damn it, give me the antidote quickly," Lei Chong said with difficulty. He was too aggrieved. He was a top-tier genius with a body full of mystic skills. But before he could even unleash any of them, he was taken down by someone else. This was really a slap in the face. Moreover, he felt that he couldn't get rid of this poison at all. If he didn't get the antidote, he was afraid that he would die here. Lin Xian said. "Antidote? Sorry, I don't have that kind of thing. You'll have to detoxify yourself slowly." After saying that, he walked forward. "Damn it, Elder, save me." Lei Chong crushed a jade token. Suddenly, a roar came from a mountain peak. "Who is it? How dare you touch the people of my Thunder God city?" The figure descended from the sky like a bolt of lightning and turned into an old man. His powerful aura spread out in all directions. "It's a minor saint." Many people's expression changed. This was the minor saint of Thunder God city. Eastern Spirit World was a training ground. Countless experts and experts of big clans and sects would train here. Therefore, there was a stronghold in Eastern Spirit World. Eastern Spirit Mountain was where the strongholds were located. Every saint city or clan occupied a mountain peak. Wushuang's city and Thunder God city were the same. At this moment, the elder of Thunder God city's stronghold received the distress signal and immediately rushed over. When he arrived, he almost vomited blood. "What's going on?" Lei Chong and the geniuses of Thunder God city were defeated. "Damn it, what's going on? Is there a minor saint?" One should know that Lei Chong was a late-stage 4th Heavenly Realm expert. In addition to the powerful divine ability and trump card in his hand, it wasn't a problem for him to fight against a 5th Heavenly Realm expert. In addition, there were so many geniuses. Therefore, in his opinion, only a minor saint could defeat so many people. "Elder, catch him. He's the one who injured us." Those people pointed at Lin Xian crazily. The minor saint elder raised his head and stared at Lin Xian. He was stunned. How could it be? An early-stage 3rd Heavenly Realm expert. His eyeballs almost fell to the ground. He thought for a while, but he never thought that the murderer was an early-stage 3rd Heavenly Realm expert. An early-stage 3rd Heavenly Realm expert defeated a group of experts. What kind of joke was this? He felt like he was dreaming. However, all eyes were on Lin Xian. It seemed that this was really done by him. "Damn it, what's going on?" His face suddenly turned gloomy. He was poisoned, and it was a very strong poison. He stared at Lin Xian. A powerful aura spread out from his body, forming a cage. Chapter 3687. Xin Jingqiu's expression was solemn. That aura had shocked them. Lin Xian hovered the heavenly Luo umbrella above his head. He did not release the poison. The heavenly Luo umbrella was a saint weapon. It blocked the monstrous saint aura. Then he sneered. What? Thunder God City wants to be shameless again? First, more than a dozen saints attacked together. Since they couldn't defeat Thunder God City, they sent out a minor saint. How impressive! However, it's a little too shameless. Brat! You're courting death. The little saint let out a roar. His aura burst out and turned into a giant hand, grabbing toward Yi Shiwen from all directions. This force was too terrifying. At this moment, many people knelt on the ground, unable to stand. This was the danger of a minor saint. It was far more dangerous than them. Such a terrifying lightning giant hand with a vast law was trying to suppress Lin Xian. Feeling a great pressure, Lin Xian's face turned gloomy. He activated the heavenly Luo umbrella and unleashed an unparalleled aura. It was dazzling as it resisted the attack. With a loud clang, the two collided. Heaven fell and earth cracked. Everyone was blinded by the light. Lin Xian was pushed back. The heavenly Luo umbrella was also trembling. However, it still managed to block the attack. So it's a saint weapon. No wonder you're so arrogant. But do you think you can defeat me with a saint weapon as an early third heavenly layer? The minor saint said with disdain. Although a saint weapon was good, it depended on who was holding it. In his hand, it was an unparalleled peerless weapon. But in the hands of his opponent, it was just SOSO. Oh, really? Then try this? Lin Xian sneered. With a wave of his hand, the corpse poison in the heavenly Luo umbrella floated out and spread forward. The minor saint was disdainful at first. But when he felt the poison, his face changed instantly and he quickly retreated. The law on his body formed a shield and covered him. This poison was too terrifying. It made his hair stand on end. No wonder Lei Chong and the other saints were poisoned. This poison was not something they could withstand. Who is this guy? Why does he have such a terrifying corpse poison in his hand? Elder, don't fight with him for now. Quickly save us. We can't hold on any longer. We're about to be poisoned to death. At this moment, Lei Chong opened his mouth with difficulty. The minor saint's facial expression changed instantly. Not good. He was so focused on the battle that he forgot about Lei Chong and the others. His face turned completely ugly. Lei Chong and the others were in a very dangerous situation. If they did not expel the poison quickly, they would probably die immediately. Damn brat, hand over the antidote. He looked at Lin Xian, his eyes filled with killing intent. Lin Xian shrugged. I really don't have the antidote. You're courting death. Do you really want us Thunder God City's geniuses to die? Do you know what the consequences are? I was just passively defending. If they didn't want to kill me, how could I have been poisoned? Lin Xian sneered. Your disciples' lives are important, but is my life not important? Could it be that the lives of the people in your Thunder God City are a level higher than others? Lin Xian was also enraged, and the corner of his mouth curled into a cold smile. You're courting death. The elder roared, causing the heaven and earth to tremble. He summoned his companions. Some people flew over. They were the elders of the Thunder God City. When they arrived, they were shocked. What happened? Our people are poisoned. Hurry up and save them. When the elders arrived, their faces immediately turned ugly. Hurry up and save them. They quickly summoned more companions. Using eye techniques, they took out detoxifying pills and combined them with the laws of heaven and earth to expel the poison. The minor saint stood up again and stared at Lin Xian. Do you really think that this poison can fight against us? You're really courting death. Another minor saint stood out. Two minor saints faced Lin Xian. As long as they captured him, they would be able to get rid of the poison. Not good. That brat is in danger. Although that brat has a saint weapon in poison, how could he be a match for two minor saints? Many people retreated frantically. At this moment, the pressure in this area was too great. They could not bear it at all. What should we do? Shinjingqiu's face also turned ugly. Two minor saints were too dangerous for them. Lin Xian did not resist. He let out a long cry. I'm a disciple of Peerless City, and now I'm being besieged by Thunder God City. I hope the elders of Peerless City can save me. His voice turned into thunder, rolling out in all directions. What? He's from Peerless City? And he's a disciple of Peerless City? Everyone was stunned. This identity was nothing in the eyes of these powerhouses. However, it was this unremarkable person who had caused such a commotion. On a mountain peak far away, a few streams of light streaked across the sky. What's going on? They looked at Lin Xian. These people were from Peerless City. Elder, I'm Lin Woody from Peerless City. I came to Eastern Spirit Mountain to hand over the mission, but I was besieged by the people of Thunder God City. Now, two minor saints from Thunder God City are going to attack me. What? The people of Peerless City were stunned. Thunder God City attacked their disciples, and two minor saints at that. Isn't this too much of a bully? At the same time, an old man frowned. You're that Lin Woody? He was too surprised. As the elder of Peerless City, he naturally knew that a peerless genius had appeared in the process of the assessment. His name was Lin Woody. In the first round, he broke the 1,000-year record of Peerless City. In the second round, he took the first place and eliminated 3 of the 8 great geniuses. They were very optimistic about the third round, and there was a high chance that this person would become the chief disciple of the third generation. Now, such a person was besieged by the people of Sky Thunder City. If it was a young disciple, they could still tolerate it. After all, conflicts between the saint cities were normal. But now, it was 2 elders of Thunder God City, 2 minor saints, who attacked them. This was intolerable. What's going on? They landed and instantly protected Lin Xian and Xinjingqiu. Then, the old man looked at Thunder God City. What's the meaning of this? Are you going to attack our people? Don't you think it's too shameless to bully the weak with 2 minor saints? The people of Peerless City were furious. 2 minor saints, aren't they too much of a bully? Do they really think that Peerless City is easy to bully? Damn it! Hurry up and leave. I'm going to capture this kid. It has nothing to do with you. The elders of Thunder God City were also furious. Now they must capture the other party and get the antidote. The people of Peerless City sneered. What a joke. How can it have nothing to do with us? This is the address of Peerless City. He poisoned more than a dozen of our Saint Heaven's geniuses. If he doesn't hand over the antidote, do you think we'll let him go? The few minor saints said coldly. They were really mad. What? The people of Peerless City were also stunned. They took a glance and found that Lei Chong and more than a dozen Saint Heaven's geniuses were lying on the ground. This made the corners of their mouths twitch. But very quickly, they became wild with joy. This brat was far too awesome. Chapter 3688. They knew that Lei Chong was atop heaven's pride. Together with a dozen saints, even a 5th celestial layer expert would have to put in some effort to take him down. But now, this kid actually defeated all of them in an instant. This is simply a talent. They had to protect such a talent well. At this time, Lin Xian also said, Elder, the people from Thunder God City tried to rob us outside and were defeated by me. Then, these people refused to accept it, and wanted to attack me together. In the end, they were defeated. Therefore, their elder took action. I really don't know why Sky Thunder City is so despicable and shameless. Elder, please give us justice. Hearing this, the people from Wushuang City wanted to laugh. This kid is still acting innocent after taking advantage of them. However, they had never been on good terms with Lei Xingqing. At this moment, they naturally had to protect Lin Xian. Most importantly, it was Lei Xingqing who had provoked them first. First, it was robbery. Then, it was a group attack. Now, it was the elders who took action. Every matter was done shamelessly by Thunder God City. You actually dared to make a move on our people. Give us an explanation or compensate us. Otherwise, this matter will not end. The elder from Wushuang City said coldly. Compensation? Hand over that kid first and make him hand over the antidote. Otherwise, I will not rest until you are dead. The people from Thunder God City were also furious. Their dozen or so geniuses were in danger. Both sides did not back down. For a moment, the atmosphere was incomparably tense. All kinds of saint auras filled the air. A few elders from Wushuang City had arrived. The smell of gunpowder between the two sides was getting thicker and thicker. A great battle was about to break out. At this time, Lei Chong woke up again. Old Zhang, he killed my brother. And he even killed 7 or 8 saints beside my brother. They are all the geniuses of our Thunder God City. You must take revenge. What? The elders from Thunder God City instantly vomited blood. 7 or 8 geniuses had already died in the hands of the other party? Damn it! Their eyes instantly turned red. The elders from Wushuang City were also stunned. Lin Xian said. When they robbed, they were all masked. How would I know that they were from Thunder God City? Moreover, they did not say that I would naturally be merciless towards the robbers. Hearing this, the elder of Peerless City laughed. That was indeed the case. When attacking the enemy, of course they had to use the most forceful method. You can only blame yourself for hiding your identities. However, the people from Thunder God City couldn't take it anymore. Damn it, capture that brat. Several elders made their moves. The people from Peerless City snorted. Do you think we're afraid of you? In an instant, the two sides began to fight. A great battle broke out. Terrifying energy collapsed the heavens and cracked the earth, spreading across the sky. The surrounding people retreated as if they had gone mad. Their faces were filled with fear. The two elders of the holy city started fighting just like that. And the fuse was because of a young man. It was really unbelievable. Peerless City, you're courting death. The people from the Thunder God City were thoroughly enraged. This time, they had brought a lot of elders with them. In an instant they had suppressed the people from the Peerless City. The people from Peerless City were at a disadvantage, and their expressions were ugly. The people from Thunder God City burst into laughter. Just relying on your Peerless City, you dare to contend against our Thunder God City? Your Peerless City has only been established for a few thousand years. Your foundation is too weak. Our Thunder God's legacy is over 10,000 years old. How can you compare to him? In the distance, those people felt their scalps go numb. Indeed, although they were both holy cities, Peerless City was a new power. There were only 2 generations of disciples in the sect. Now, they were only recruiting the 3rd generation. Thunder God City was different. It was an old holy city with a legacy of 10,000 years. The disciples in the sect had already passed down to the 8th generation. There was indeed a gap between the foundation of both sides. For example, in the stronghold, the number of elders and saints assigned to Peerless City was not as many as Thunder God City. Therefore, they were at a disadvantage now. Obediently hand him over. Otherwise, I'll suppress you. Your Peerless City's face won't look good. The elders of Thunder God City laughed sinisterly. The elders of Peerless City frantically counterattacked. They would definitely not let Lin Xian be in danger. Lin Xian was a good seedling. In the future, he would definitely become the disciple of the Sage King. Lin Xian's face was also cold. He activated the Heavenly Luo umbrella and shot out the remaining poison. The poison spread out, causing the people from Thunder God City to frantically retreat. Only then did they relieve some pressure. However, it was just relief. This time, there were 3 minor saints on the other side. Under their joint attack, the corpse poison could only resist for a moment before it was torn apart. Not good. They're too strong. You guys go first. Someone come and bring the 2 of them away quickly. The warriors of Peerless City brought Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu through the void, wanting to go to their stronghold. However, they were stopped by someone. Want to go? How is that possible? Stay here obediently. A minor saint unleashed a tremendous amount of law that resembled two gigantic dragons that swept across the battlefield. Not good. Quickly bring them away from Eastern Spirit Mountain. After receiving the order, the two minor saints brought Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu through the void and left Eastern Spirit Mountain. The others were in a great battle, chasing after them. For a moment, a battle broke out. Do you think you can resist? The people of Thunder God's city looked sinister. On the other side, the elders of Peerless City roared. Quickly send the news back to the Holy City and ask them to send reinforcements. In the sky, 4 rays of light streaked across. It was Lin Xian and the other 3. They left Eastern Spirit Mountain and flew towards the distance. Behind them, there were 4 rays of light chasing after them. Although they had the same number of people, they were facing 4 Fifth Heaven Saints. On their side, there were only 2 Fifth Heaven Saints. In addition to Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu, there were only 2 Third Heaven Saints. In comparison, the difference in strength was too great. Therefore, the people of Thunder God's city behind them sneered. You can't escape. After flying for half a day, they finally stopped Lin Xian and the others. The 4 of them landed and surrounded Lin Xian and the others. We'll hold on for a while. You two go first. The 2 saints of Peerless City gritted their teeth and said, No need. We'll stay and fight. If it's just a 5th Heaven Saint, it's nothing. Lin Xian said coldly. Xin Jingqiu nodded. I can hold on for a while. At least I can hold one of them. When these words came out, the 2 saints of Peerless City were stunned. On the other hand, the people of Thunder God City laughed. Ha ha. What did they hear? 2 saints of the 3rd heaven wanted to contend with them? They were really reckless. Kid, who do you think you are? The corpse poison in your hands is gone. Without the poison gas, you dare to fight against us? You really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. If the 2 of them were afraid, it would be the poison. But now, they knew that the corpse poison was completely used up. Therefore, they were not afraid of the other party. Chapter 3689. No, it's too dangerous. Hurry up and leave. The saints of Peerless City also shook their heads. They were really worried. Lin Xian insisted. Don't worry, trust me. Don't waste your breath on them, just do it. The people from Sky Thunder City roared in anger. The 4 of them made their move. Damn it! In an instant, a huge battle broke out. 2 saints from Peerless City were held back by 2 saints from Sky Thunder City. The other 2 saints charged towards Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu. Can Xiao hold on? You can use the Heavenly Luo umbrella, and I will let Little White help you. But what about you, Brother Lin? Would it be dangerous? Xin Jingqiu was worried. Lin Xian said, Don't worry, I have a plan. Reckless brat, go to hell. A middle-aged man from Thunder God City sneered. Did the other party have a way to deal with him? What a joke! His cultivation level alone was enough to crush the other party. With a cold snort, a sun formed in his body. It was a sun formed by lightning, and it brought with it an incomparably violent aura as it pressed forward. The other person also attacked Xin Jingqiu. Xin Jingqiu cried out delicately. She immediately activated her spirit body, greatly increasing her cultivation. At the same time, she opened the Heavenly Luo umbrella. Furthermore, he took out another sacred weapon. It was a purple flying sword. Little White hugged the composure pearl and was ready to attack at any time. Above Lin Xian's head, a thunderous sun flickered incessantly, suppressing the sky and him at the same time. Lin Xian coldly snorted and activated the void escape technique. In an instant, he teleported to another location. At the same time, he took out the Grand Sage Pagoda and released a strand of star fire. At this moment, there weren't many astral flames left. Moreover, the Black Earth was at the most critical moment, and would be completed very soon. Therefore, Lin Xian could not use much of the starry sky fire. But that was enough. He didn't plan on using the starry sky flame to burn the other party to death. As long as he could burn the other party and scare the other party, that would be enough. Humay's strand of the starry sky flame, which was the size of a palm, danced about and instantly enveloped the other party. With a blood-curdling scream, half of the fifth heaven sage's body was burned away. They were so scared that they fled frantically. This pitiful voice made one's scalp go numb. The surrounding sages all turned their heads to look. Their pupils shrank. How was this possible? A fifth heavenly layer saint had lost half of his body in an instant. He was seriously injured. This was too inconceivable. Was this really done by this kid? The people from Thunder God's city were stunned. As for the people from Peerless City, they were also stunned. The next moment, they were overjoyed. Great, this kid's strength was beyond their expectations. From the looks of it, it wasn't impossible for them to fight. Damn brat, I want you dead. That kind of injured saint rushed over. Lin Xian sneered. Do you think that with your cultivation of the fifth heavenly layer, you can contend against me? What a joke. The middle-aged man let out a furious roar as the laws on his body burst out. He performed a hand seal, and his left hand took the form of a divine saber that slashed down. His right hand formed a lightning dragon. At this moment, power erupted, causing the entire world to tremble. This was a law divine ability. It was truly powerful to the extreme. At the same time, he was constantly paying attention to the appearance of that terrifying flame. Once it appeared, he would immediately escape. Lin Xian didn't use the starry sky fire again. What he had to do was enough. The flame had injured the other party, and now the other party was scared out of his wits. He used the Kunping movement technique to dodge quickly. At the same time, he pulled out the Great Destruction Spear. With a roar and the sword she flew out. At the same time, he activated his eye technique and summoned the Headless Knight to fight with it. With a bang, the two collided. The sun and moon shook, and a vast ocean-like power swept through the 9 heavens. This was really too unbelievable. How was it possible? He blocked it. The surrounding sages were also stunned. Previously, they thought that Lin Xian was relying on a magical flame to injure the fifth heavenly layer saint. With their own strength, they were no match for him. But they didn't expect that Lin Xian would actually block the attack of a fifth heavenly layer saint in a head-on collision. The other party's weapon was a sacred artifact. What was the Headless Knight that the other party summoned? Why was its power so terrifying? Haha, the Sage of the Five-Colored Sky was only SOSO. Lin Xian laughed, his confidence increasing. You're courting death. The middle-aged man was so angry that his entire body trembled. Without the flame, he was still no match for the other party. This was a great humiliation. Die for me. His palms formed a seal again, transforming into a lightning mountain. He struck with both palms, and the lightning mountain erupted. He wanted to completely crush Lin Xian. Lin Xian activated the 9-yang divine body and activated the Qilin tattoo at the same time. His physique was really strong at this moment. Therefore, he didn't dodge at all. He held the Great Destruction Spear in his hand as his black hair danced in the wind. Dragon-shaped sword she flew out, piercing through heaven and earth. The lightning mountain was shattered into pieces. Lin Xian's body trembled as he was attacked by the endless lightning. On the other side, the middle-aged sage was also not feeling good. His face was pale, and his eyes were filled with shock. His nomological divine ability had been broken by the other party. It was too unbelievable. At this moment, the attack in Lin Xian's eyes emitted a golden blade of light. It slashed forward with an indomitable aura. At the same time, he activated his eye technique, Spring and Autumn Lock. The middle-aged man was hit by the soul attack. His head trembled and he almost fell from the sky. Damn it! He hurriedly defended and retreated frantically, trying to pull away. Little White! Lin Xian roared angrily. Little White appeared out of thin air and slapped the other party's head. The other party immediately fainted. It was an eye technique attack. The Great Destruction Spear transformed into a dragon shadow and rushed over. It pierced the other party with a valiant posture. Miserable cries rang out once again. Everyone had gone crazy. He was injured again. This time, the other party didn't use that strange flame, but he still injured the sage of the fifth heaven. Moreover, it was too fast. They were already locked in a stalemate, but was the outcome of the battle already about to be decided? Ah! The middle-aged man screamed miserably, his body trembling with anger. Die! He was pierced by the spear, but he wanted to fight for his life. At this moment, Lin Xian shot out a ball of flame. Do you think I don't have this kind of flame? He shot out the flame. Damn it! The middle-aged man originally wanted to fight for his life, but after seeing the flame, he was scared out of his wits and immediately retreated. He even forcefully shattered his body to escape. Ha ha! Lin Xian looked up to the sky and laughed. This wasn't the starry sky flame, but the Nine Suns' divine flame. However, the other party had been injured by the starry sky flame before and had long become a frightened bird. Now that he saw the flame, he was instinctively afraid. This was the effect he wanted. A sage of the fifth heaven was only SOSO. Lin Xian attacked again. Eye technique, sage artifact, great dragon sword soul, and stellar transposition allowed him to suppress the other party. In the end, the sage was directly scattered and crippled by him. He was completely suppressed by him. The remaining 3 people from Thunder God's city were completely stunned. Who was this kid? Chapter 3690. Lin Xian roared. I'll help you. He went to help Shinjingqiu. At this moment, Shinjingqiu had activated her spiritual body and her cultivation had increased. With the help of the 2 saint artifacts and the snow-white monkey, it wasn't too dangerous for her to fight against the 5th heavenly layer saint. With Lin Xian's support, the 2nd saint was quickly suppressed. The other 2 immediately turned and fled upon seeing this scene. These 2 young men were simply monsters. The people of Peerless City chased after them with all their might. With Lin Xian and Shinjingqiu working together, the 4 5th heavenly layer saints were finally suppressed. The 2 people of Peerless City felt that it was inconceivable. They looked at Lin Xian and Shinjingqiu with a strange expression. Lin Xian didn't care at all. He began to search the 4 people's storage rings and magical treasures. The 4 Thunder God City saints were so angry that they almost vomited blood. They had never seen such a robber before. Moreover, the other party was a young genius. Wasn't this too heaven-defying? The people of Peerless City were beaming with joy. They had picked up a treasure. This Lin Xian was really a genius. But soon, they stopped smiling and frowned. The situation was very dangerous. Although they had won, they guessed that the situation at Eastern Spirit Mountain must be very tragic. There were too many small saints in Thunder God City. It was difficult for them to deal with them. Can't they provide support? Shinjingqiu asked. If we can provide support, so can Thunder God City. After all, they have a rich foundation. Moreover, Eastern Spirit World had a certain limit. It was impossible to provide support without limit. Other forces would not agree to it. At Eastern Spirit Mountain, the battle was unusually intense. The people of Peerless City were completely suppressed. Many of them were even injured. The people of Thunder God City were very ferocious. All the anger in their hearts was vented on this battle. At this moment of crisis, a figure descended from the sky. Did Thunder God City bully Peerless City? Accompanying the figure was a loud and clear voice. The people of Peerless City raised their heads and revealed a joyful smile. The people of Thunder God City also looked over. Soon, they were stunned because they realized that only one person from the other side had come. Did he think that he could contend against them with just one person? He was truly courting death. Is there really no one else in Peerless City? Only one person was sent to reinforce them. Thunder God City's side was filled with disdain. The surrounding onlookers were also completely stunned. Heavens, what's going on? Could it be that what Lei Xinxing said was true? Was Peerless City going to be completely defeated? I alone am enough. the person who landed said in a deep voice. His eyes were shining with confidence. Hongye, be careful. The sages of Peerless City gathered around. The newcomer was a young man, Fu Hongye. As soon as he arrived, he walked out with a red maple leaf in his hand. On the red maple leaf, a terrifying flame flickered and danced. The red leaf flew out, soared into the sky, and slashed forward. He was courting death. On the other side, the people from Peerless City were enraged. A young man like him dared to fight with them? He didn't know what was good for him. Kill! A middle-aged man sneered and struck out with terrifying lightning. It turned into a long river and hacked down from the sky. He wanted to cut down the other party's red maple leaf. Boom! Boom! The onlookers were all experts. They could not see it with their eyes, but their souls could clearly see it. Boom! Through the perception of their souls, they could see that the river of lightning had been cut in half. Although the red maple leaf was not big, it was incomparable. In an instant, it arrived in front of the middle-aged sage. Then, the flames on the red maple leaf danced, forming a huge fire that enveloped the sage. Ah! A miserable cry was heard. The huge fire burned the sage, making him look extremely miserable. One move and a sage was injured. Everyone was going crazy. This young man was too terrifying. The other side rushed over again. This time, there were two of them. Fu Hongye struck out another two red leaves. One of them had a sword drawn on it, and the other had a saber drawn on it. The saber and the sword were struck out together. Boom! 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 The two sages were sent flying while vomiting blood. This scene was too shocking. No one dared to believe it. This young man was too terrifying. Each leaf could injure a saint. Just who was this person? Damn it! Who are you? The people of Thunder God City roared crazily. The man in white said proudly, I'm Fu Hongye. What? It's you! Everyone was stunned. They did not know the name Fu Hongye. He was the top genius of Wushuang City, the chief disciple of the second generation. His strength was too strong. You're Fu Hongye. An old man stood out. Kid, go away. Let your elders deal with him. You're not strong enough. This old man was a minor saint. Fu Hongye was powerful, but it seemed like he did not take him seriously. There's no need for the elders to deal with him. Fu Hongye's eyes were filled with confidence. So what if the opponent was a minor saint? He really did not take him seriously. You're courting death. The old man was furious. A minor saint was being looked down upon by a junior? Fine, I'll see how powerful the chief disciple of Wushuang City is. Buzz! Heaven and earth trembled with the sound of thunder. The minor saint made his move. He formed a seal with both hands and formed the thunder god's wings. They were like two heavenly blades that could destroy heaven and earth. This was a powerful divine ability of the thunder god. Now that it was used by a minor saint, everyone's scalp went numb as if they were going to be cut in half. In the face of such a terrifying divine ability, Fu Hongye was not afraid at all. His black technique was flamboyant, and his white robe was dazzling. He was abnormally calm like a fiend god. With a snap of his fingers, another red leaf appeared in his hand. There was a moon drawn on the red leaf. The red leaf flew out and faced the attack. The moon soared into the sky. It was like a sacred moon on the sea. This was a strange phenomenon of heaven and earth, which shocked everyone. The terrifying moon spun in the sky like a millstone that could destroy the world, crushing the thunder god's wings. The two divine abilities collided in heaven and earth. Terrifying energy filled every inch of space. Everyone retreated crazily. It was too terrifying. The moon shattered the thunder god's wings. The old man was shocked. Impossible! The others also went crazy. Fu Hongye was too strong. He could even suppress a minor saint. Go to hell! The minor saint rushed forward. Fu Hongye also roared and charged forward. The red leaf in his hand kept attacking. Every time, it was accompanied by a powerful divine ability. Suddenly, A red leaf shot out and froze the minor saint in midair. Damn it! Imprison the red leaf. Break! The old man kept attacking the void, trying to break free. In the sky, another 2 red leaves came at him. They turned into 2 giant dragons and attacked his body. The old man vomited blood and flew backward with a frightened expression. The others were also in an uproar. Chapter 3691. Fu Hongye was too strong. Was he the top genius of Wushuang City? He was too terrifying. The experts of the older generation were terrified. Could it be that Fu Hongye had become a minor saint? No one dared to imagine it because it was too unbelievable. Fu Hongye said, "Thunder God City, do you think there's no one in Wushuang City?" He directly charged over. "You're courting death." In addition, the people of Thunder God City were also furious. They joined forces to take him down. A great battle broke out again, but this time, with Fu Hongye's participation, they were really powerful to the extreme. Not long after, another minor saint was injured. The people of Thunder God City quickly retreated. The people of Wushuang City charged over, especially Fu Hongye, who took the lead. Not long after, the 3rd minor saint was injured, and the rest of the saints fled back to their own mountains. However, it was not over yet. Fu Hongye went straight to the mountain and killed in all directions. It was too unbelievable. Everyone went crazy. He went to the enemy's stronghold alone. Moreover, he had swept through all 4 directions. He was simply a demon king. The people of Wushuang City were incomparably excited. Fu Hongye usually looked as gentle as jade, but when he really fought, he was crazy to the extreme. A great battle broke out. The law above Thunder God City's stronghold spread, and the heaven and earth trembled. It was a terrifying scene of destruction. However, not long after, the entire mountain was lit up with countless formations. The mountain was sealed off. Not good, they're going to seal the mountain. They must be preparing to summon people to attack Fu Hongye. The people of Wushuang City were also furious. They quickly attacked the formations. However, the formations this time were not so easy to break. For a moment, they were extremely anxious. They could only prepare to ask for help again. The others also felt their scalps tingle. It was over. Fu Hongye was sealed inside. She was in danger now. Yes, no matter how strong Fu Hongye was, he was only one person. He went to the enemy's stronghold alone and was now sealed by them. If Thunder God City summoned more experts from the Saint City, Fu Hongye would definitely be in danger. For a moment, everyone in Dongling Mountain was talking about it. Outside Dongling Mountain, Lin Xian and the others had subdued 4 people from Thunder God City. At this moment, a sage from Peerless City received news of the array formation. Great, our people are here. The people from Thunder God City were defeated. Defeated? We can go back now. These people rose into the air, ready to return. Not long after, they returned to Dongling Mountain. But as soon as they went up the mountain, they felt that the atmosphere was not right. There were discussions everywhere, and from the looks of it, one of the mountain peaks had been completely sealed. What's going on? They hurried back. The elders of Wushuang City said. Oh no, Hong Yu was locked inside. What's going on? Wasn't the crisis already resolved? Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu were also surprised. Even the 2 sages who were following him were equally puzzled. Fu Hongye had come and wounded 3 minor saints on her own. Furthermore, she had slaughtered her way through the enemy's forces. The attack directly hit the mountain peak of the other party, sweeping across a large area. However, these people from the Thunder God City were truly too despicable. They actually sealed the mountain. And from the looks of it, Hong Yi was trapped inside. Those people must have summoned some strong cultivators. Fu Hongye was in danger. Upon hearing this, Xin Jingqiu and Lin Xian were completely stunned. What? Could it be that Fu Hongye was the only one who came? Lin Xian was even more shocked. He had seen Fu Hongye before. Naturally, he knew that she was the chief disciple of the 2nd generation. But he did not expect Fu Hongye to be so powerful that she could injure 3 minor saints on her own. Moreover, she had slaughtered her way to the enemy's stronghold. How powerful was that? But now, he was actually trapped. No, senior brother Hongyi is in danger. We have to go and save him. Lin Xian was anxious. The elders also said that we are also preparing to recruit more people, but it will take some time. Moreover, we are also breaking the formation now. Once the formation is broken, we can kill our way in and Fu Hongye can come out. Not good, elders. Our formation has been destroyed. At this moment, an anxious voice came from a mountain peak in the distance. What? The faces of the elders of Wushuang's city changed instantly. Someone has destroyed our formation. Who is it? I don't know. It should be the people of Thunder God's city who did it secretly. Now our people can't teleport here. This time, the faces of Lin Xian and the others completely changed. This was terrible news. If that was the case, Fu Hongye would be in great danger. Damn it, let's fight to the death. Let's kill them. The eyes of the elders turned red. Fu Hongye was too important to Wushuang City. They could not afford to lose him. Elders, you guys break the formation. I'll go outside and look for something that might be of help. Lin Xian said while clenching his teeth. This happened because of him. He could not just stand by and watch. What are you looking for? The elders of Wushuang City asked. Lin Xian said. Let's not talk about this first. I'll try first. You guys should hurry up and break the formation. Chiyo, or you stay here. I'll give you the Heavenly Luo umbrella and the Great Destruction Spear. You can break the formation with me. Brother Lin, what about you? You don't have any sacred weapons. Shinjingqiu was worried. Don't worry, I'll be with Little White. I still have the Soul Fixation Pearl and other trump cards. After Lin Xian finished speaking, he rushed into the sky. He was indeed going to do something. He was going to look for something. Lin Xian had 2 killer saint bees in his hands. The thing he was going to look for was the nest of the killer saint bees. Which was the beehive. If he could get the Peak King, then there would be countless killer saint bees. If he could get it and throw it on the mountain peak of Thunder God's city, then it would be enough. Of course, this matter was very difficult to do. It could even be said to be impossible. However, Lin Xian still planned to give it a try. He took out the black earth from the great sage tower. At this moment, the black earth had completely evolved into a sacred weapon. Its power had greatly increased. The black earth turned into a flash of light. Its speed was extremely fast. The speed of a saint artifact spirit boat was truly incomparable. The starry sky fire was exhausted. Otherwise, Lin Xian could use the starry sky fire to tear open the seal and kill his way to the mountain peak. By controlling the 2 killer saint bees in his hands, Lin Xian finally understood where their nest was. After flying all the way, he finally arrived in the vicinity. Lin Xian saw through the heavenly secret god eyes that this area was basically filled with killer saint bees. They covered the sky and the earth. It was very terrifying. He took a deep breath. Damn it, there were so many killer saint bees. Even he didn't dare to take the risk. It was impossible for him to subdue them one after another. He guessed that although the killer saint bees were powerful, they were still bees. Since they were bees, they followed the same rules. In other words, there was a queen bee in the hive. It was the queen bee. If he could control the Peak King, the other killer saint bees would all listen to his orders. Thinking of this, Lin Xian decided to take a gamble. Chapter 3692. Sitting in the black earthly, he sent his soul out of his body, and his heavenly fate god eyes into the killer wasp. It was as if Lin Xian had possessed the body of a killer bee. He wanted to use the killer wasp to sneak into the hive and control the wasp king. Buzz! Buzz! The controlled killer saint bee took off with the wind and quickly flew into this area. Very good, no one was paying attention to it. Lin Xian successfully entered the hive. The killer wasp needed to provide food, so Lin Xian had already prepared the top-grade flower pollen. He wanted to hand over the food. Sure enough, he got the chance. When it came in front of him, Lin Xian's heart was in his mouth. The killer bee queen's body was huge. It was like a person. The other killer wasp kings were only the size of a finger. The difference between the two was like heaven and earth. When the killer wasp king was absorbing the pollen, Lin Xian finally exploded. The heavenly secret divine eye carried his powerful soul power and launched his strongest attack. Boom! The killer wasp king was enraged. With a roar, the entire hive shook violently. Thousands of killer wasp kings outside rushed in crazily. Their eyes were red. Lin Xian felt his hair stand on end. If he failed, he would be torn to pieces by these killer wasp kings. But fortunately, his body was not here. Only his soul had entered. His soul had already entered the killer wasp king's body. When the killer wasp kings came in, they could only see the irritable killer wasp king. They could not find anyone. Their faces were full of doubts. Lin Xian was in the killer wasp king's mind. He was trying to take over the killer wasp king's body. If he succeeded, he would have an army of killer wasp kings. However, this was obviously impossible. The killer wasp king was very powerful. Although it was attacked by Lin Xian, it was impossible to completely take over the killer wasp king's body. Lin Xian could only take a step back. Then, he could only temporarily suppress the killer wasp king's soul. The killer wasp king would listen to his orders temporarily. This way, it would be much easier. However, it was only easier than taking over the body. It was truly thrilling to the extreme. If he wasn't careful, it was very possible that his soul would be destroyed. Fortunately, Lin Xian's soul spirit was strong, and this time, he had brought along the heavenly secret god eyes. Therefore, after expending all of his soul and using his eye technique, he finally managed to suppress the queen bee's soul. The soul of the queen bee fell into a deep slumber. He finally succeeded. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. However, his heavenly fate god eyes had dimmed. Lin Xian was also extremely weak. It seemed like he wouldn't be able to use his eye technique for the time being. However, he was overjoyed. His heavenly secret divine eyes were only weakened, but not injured. He was now in control of the queen bee, and quickly sent out a message. Don't worry, it's nothing. It's just that the pollen doesn't suit my taste. Lin Xian sent out a spiritual fluctuation, and the surrounding killer saint bees instantly calmed down. He gave the order again, gathering everyone to enter the beehive and follow me to attack the enemy. Great Queen Bee, what enemy? The killer saint bees were all stunned. A few of them were obviously elder-level bees. Their faces were full of shock. The queen bee said. The pollen this time was poisonous. What poison? Those killer saint bees were completely enraged, and their eyes turned red. Who was it that wanted to poison their queen bee? In an instant, they stared at the little bee. It was the one that carried Lin Xian's soul previously. However, Lin Xian's soul had already left long ago. That little bee was a puppet. At this moment, it felt an incomparably powerful saint aura. It trembled and its body cracked. Lin Xian continued. It's already under my control, and I've already searched its soul. I found out that the mastermind is actually someone from Thunder God City. They actually wanted to frame me. Since that's the case, we have to teach them a lesson. What? It's actually Thunder God City. Those elders who were in charge of killing the killer saint bees were also stunned. This was a saint city. So what? Another elder said. They had gone too far. Did they really think that the killer saint bees were easy to mess with? Moreover, this was the East Spirit world, not their Thunder God City. Queen Bee, don't worry. We'll gather everyone and kill them all. Soon, sound waves spread out, and all the killer saint bees returned to the hive. The entire hive soared into the sky, turned into a stream of light, and rushed outside. Whitey drove the black earth and slowly followed from afar. Two streams of light, one in front and one behind, quickly flew towards East Spirit Mountain. At this moment, everyone on East Spirit Mountain was in an uproar. The people from Wushuang City had already started attacking the mountain, triggering countless laws. Heaven and earth were shattered. It seemed that Wushuang City had really gone crazy. Of course, Fu Hongye was very important. I don't need to tell you how he's doing now. He's probably in danger. No matter how strong he is, he can't beat so many experts from Thunder God City. He might be seriously injured and captured. Everyone was discussing intensely. They hadn't seen such a scene for a few hundred years. They didn't expect to see it today. Suddenly, someone screamed. "Look, what's that?" They all turned their heads to look and saw that in the distance, there was a stream of light coming over, accompanied by a loud sound. It was like thunder, very dull. Are those dark clouds? No, damn it, those are bees. Someone screamed. What bees? Everyone's eyes shone with a cold light as they looked into the distance. In the next moment, their scalps went numb. Killer bees! They were killer saint bees. There was more than one in the sky. There were tens of thousands of them. Damn it, they couldn't have come out in full force, right? What? Everyone on East Spirit Mountain went crazy. How could it be? What happened to these killer saint bees? One had to know that the killer saint bees were extremely terrifying in the East Spirit world. No one dared to provoke them in the area they were in. Even some powerful beasts didn't dare to set foot in their territory. When these bees went crazy, they would kill anyone in their way. Usually, everyone was in awe of the killer saint bees, so they had always been peaceful. However, they didn't expect the killer saint bees to come out in full force this time. What were they trying to do by coming to East Spirit Mountain? East Spirit Mountain was the territory of the human race. Why were these beasts attacking the human race? Everyone screamed crazily and ran away. Some even picked up their weapons to defend themselves. Some people's bodies were filled with laws, turned into streams of light, and fled into the distance. In short, they didn't dare to stay. The people of Peerless City were also stunned. It wasn't a good thing for the Killer Peak to come out in full force at this time. They didn't have much energy to care about these things now. Elder, what should we do? Should we run away? The people of Peerless City were pale. Although they were the experts of Sacred City, they couldn't resist so many killer saint bees. Chapter 3693. The elders of Peerless City had ugly expressions on their faces. Damn it! Are these beasts crazy? Why did they come at this time? They couldn't escape. Hong Yi was still inside. They had to break the array to get Hong Yi out. These people continued to attack the array. Under their intense attacks, cracks started to appear on the array, and it would break soon. However, their faces soon turned ugly, as they realized that a swarm of killer saint bees was heading in their direction. Damn it! Are they here to attack us? The people of Peerless City kept retreating. Shinjingqiu was also worried. How was Brother Lin? Was he in danger outside? She had the heavenly Luo umbrella above her head, and the great destruction spear in her hand. Chiu, don't be afraid. It's me. At this moment, Lin Xian transmitted his voice to Shinjingqiu. Shinjingqiu was stunned when she heard it. Then, she looked around. Chiu, don't look around. I got these killer saint bees. They won't attack you. Quickly tell the elders. Shinjingqiu heard it, and whispered. Elders, they are here to help us. Don't worry. The elders were all shocked and unsettled. Shinjingqiu said that it was Brother Lin who got them. What? Lin Woody? That kid? How could he have such ability? These people were stunned. They couldn't believe it. However, they realized that when the killer saint bees came, they didn't attack them. Instead, they attacked the array crazily. They heaved a sigh of relief. Great! They are here to help us. Those killer saint bees had red eyes. They attacked the array while releasing terrifying soul fluctuations. Damn Lei Shengqing! How dare you frame our killer saint bees? We will fight you to the death. We will take down Thunder God City and make them pay a painful price. Terrifying soul fluctuations resounded between heaven and earth. Everyone was stunned. What's going on? How did Thunder God City provoke these bees? The people of Peerless City laughed. Ha ha! The heavens are helping us. Thunder God City, let's see how you will die this time. Thunder God Mountain. This mountain was the stronghold of Thunder God City. Hence, it was named Thunder God Mountain. At this moment, there were countless Thunder God Realm experts in the mountain. They were surrounded by lightning as if they were a group of thunder gods. They surrounded Fu Hongye tightly. Damn brat, you're too arrogant. They were so angry that they were gnashing their teeth. At this moment, there were already many injured figures on the ground. Blood had dyed the mountain red. To be honest, they were incomparably furious and felt humiliated, because no one had ever dared to attack their stronghold. Now, he was the first one. Furthermore, he was beaten up by a single person. What was even more detestable was that this person was not an expert of the older generation. He was just a second-generation disciple of Wushuang City. The formation flashed, and even more Thunder God Realm experts appeared. They surrounded Fu Hongye and sneered. I admit that you're strong, but you're too arrogant. This is not a place where you can behave atrociously. No matter how strong you are not a match for us. The newly arrived saints were brimming with killing intent. They were indeed furious. If their reinforcements were not in place, the entire mountain would probably be taken down by the enemy. Although Fu Hongye was surrounded by so many experts, he was not afraid at all. He stood there with his hands behind his back and looked around. Humph, have reinforcements arrived? So what? Let's see how you're going to fight me today. As he said that, a red leaf appeared in his hand again. Wherever he looked, those people were so frightened that their eyelids twitched. Although they were angry, they had to admit that Fu Hongye was really too strong. A single leaf of his could transform into tens of millions of divine abilities. It made their scalps go numb. Don't be afraid, he's just bluffing. He's definitely waiting for Wushuang City's reinforcements. Humph, let me tell you the truth. Your Wushuang City's formation has already been destroyed by us. Besides, we've already sealed the mountain. Do you really think they can break in? So today will be the day of your death. These people quickly surrounded him. Don't talk nonsense with him. Countless people attacked. Terrifying divine abilities covered the sky and earth as they controlled Fu Hongye to charge over. Fu Hongye roared towards the sky. Behind him, the illusion of a huge maple tree appeared. The red leaves on the tree fluttered like the sunset. As they swayed, they brought with them terrifying laws. Fu Hongye attacked aggressively. Every leaf brought with it a flower of blood, and the saints were constantly sent flying while vomiting blood. Damn it! I don't believe he can withstand the force of 10,000 lightning bolts when we work together. The people of Thunder God City roared crazily. They combined to form a suppression technique. All the laws were stacked together as they kept attacking. Fu Hongye's face turned pale and he vomited a few mouthfuls of blood. However, his eyes became brighter, and the red leaf in his hand became even more terrifying. At this moment, a shattering sound could be heard between heaven and earth. It was as if a mirror had fallen to the ground. Then, the formation of the entire mountain range began to split apart. Not good, our formation is broken. The people of Thunder God City screamed. What's there to be afraid of? They can't send any experts over. If they come, we'll kill them all. The small saints of Thunder God City roared crazily. Their eyes were red. They must kill Fu Hongye today. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to feel at ease. Eastern Spirit Mountain. Previously, those cultivators fled in panic because of the arrival of the killer bees. However, when they ran far away, they realized that the killer bees didn't start a massacre. Instead, they attacked Thunder God Mountain. This made them heave a sigh of relief. They quietly returned to take a look. Soon, they saw that the formation was broken, and countless killer bees rushed in. Oh God, are these killer bees helping Wushuang City? These people were stunned. Let's take a look. What's going on? They raised their heads and looked over. The next moment, they saw that there were so many experts of Thunder God City besieging a person on the mountain. It was a person in snow-white clothes. Although his body was stained with blood and his shoulder was injured, his eyes were incomparably bright. Moreover, every time he attacked, a saint would fall. Under his feet, there were many corpses. The entire mountain was dyed red. The killer bees were still fighting. He didn't die. Instead, he became stronger as he fought. Everyone went crazy. This was simply a miracle. This killer saint bee was too powerful and terrifying. Thunder God's city had kicked an iron plate this time. Yes, the killer bees were already so difficult to deal with, let alone the killer bees that filled the sky. Everyone was stirred up. The people of Thunder God's city were disdainful at first. They had so many experts rushing over. So what if the other party broke the formation? He was just courting death. However, when the array formation really shattered, they were stunned. Because the ones who came in first weren't the people of Wishwang City, but the killer bees that filled the sky. They were so dense that they covered the entire sky. These people all stopped and looked up at the sky in astonishment. Chapter 3694. Even Fu Hongye stopped what he was doing. He raised his head and looked at the sky with a weird look in his eyes. Killer bees? And there were so many of them. What was going on? Were these killer bees trying to start a war with the humans? Just then, a killer bee elder let out a cold voice in the sky. Thunder God's city, you are despicable and shameless. You want to use poison to harm our king? Today, we will fight you to the death. Everyone, listen up. Attack the people of Thunder God's city with all your might. Along with the cold voice, the eyes of the killer bees turned red. As though they had gone mad, they turned into streaks of golden light and started attacking. The people of Thunder God's city below screamed. Many of them were pierced, and some of them were poisoned. They were in a miserable state. This scene was like hell on earth. When the people in the distance saw this, they went crazy. Heavens, this was too unbelievable. These killer bees were really attacking Thunder God's city. Fu Hongye was stunned. What was going on? Just then, he received a voice transmission. Senior Brother Hongye, I am Lin Wudi. These killer bees were summoned by me. Hurry, let us leave. I cannot control the killer bee king for long. Killer Saint Bee was stunned for a moment before a smile appeared on his face. Lin Wudi! So, it was him. He understood now. With a loud roar, he rushed out of the crowd and tore the void apart. He flew down the mountain. The people of Peerless City were waiting for him at the foot of the mountain. At the same time, Lin Xian continued to control the Killer Bee King and gave out orders. The Killer Bees and Thunder God's City started a war. All the sages of Thunder God's City were attacked. Many of them were stung until their heads were full of bumps. These were not ordinary bees. Every single one of them could pierce through their bodies. Even if they did not die, they would be severely injured. And there was a high chance that their foundation would be damaged. Of course, there were also many killer bees that fell. In short, both sides were in a frenzy. In the end, the people of Thunder God's City could not hold on any longer. At first, they wanted to call for more reinforcements to help them. But they realized that even though the reinforcements had arrived, they had angered the killer bees. So, they could only change their strategy. Run! Use the teleportation circle to leave! Crack! Crack! These people took the teleportation array and wanted to leave. But at this moment, the teleportation array let out a cracking sound as cracks appeared. There was a missing material in the formation, and there was a gap. Who was it? Who dares to destroy our array formation? These people were in despair. Without the array formation, they would not be able to teleport away. What would be waiting for them next? This was the crazy revenge of killing the Saint Wasp. They didn't dare to imagine the consequences. In their panic, they saw a little white monkey holding a corner of the array formation and traversing through the void. Damned Ho Z! Give me back my formation! Mother Fasterus Cur, I won't rest until you die. I swear that from now on, I will only eat monkey meat. These people screamed crazily, but there was nothing they could do. The little white monkey was too fast, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Without the formation, there was no way to teleport. Their fates would be extremely miserable. Sure enough, these people from the Thunder God's city instantly received a counterattack. Since there was no way out, the eyes of these people from the Thunder God's city had turned red from the killing. Each and every one of them were roaring as if they had gone crazy. Kill! They clashed with the killer Saint Bees. After another half a day, Lin Xian finally couldn't control it anymore. He felt that the soul of the Saint Wasp was recovering. He gradually couldn't suppress it anymore and sighed. He knew that it was time to leave. Lin Xian's soul rose into the sky, left the Saint Wasp's body, and flew down the mountain. His speed was extremely fast. In almost an instant, he arrived at the foot of the mountain. At the foot of the mountain, those people from Wushuang's city were anxiously waiting. Especially Shinjingqiu, she was very worried about Lin Xian's safety. Finally, she saw Lin Xian's soul flying back. She immediately heaved a sigh of relief. Brother Lin, here. She waved her hand. Lin Xian entered the black earth, and his soul and body fused. In the next moment, he walked out. Let's go, this is not the place to talk. After my soul leaves, the Saint Wasp's soul will soon awaken. At that time, he will definitely be exposed. Lin Xian called a group of people and quickly left. They returned to Wushuang City's stronghold. But, sure enough, not long after they arrived, an earth-shattering roar came from the Thunder God Mountain. A terrifying aura spread throughout the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Damn it, what's going on? Everyone was terrified. The Saint Wasp woke up. But when he woke up, he was so angry that he vomited blood. Shouldn't he be in the hive, absorbing pollen to cultivate? Why did he come to the Thunder God Mountain? And there was a big battle? His descendants and subordinates. Why did so many of them die? Stop right there. The Saint Wasp kept roaring. The people from the Saint Wasp's side quickly stopped and instantly gathered beside the Saint Wasp. On the other side, the people from Thunder God's city also stopped. Their faces were cold, and each of them had injuries on their bodies. They also gathered together and confronted the Saint Wasp. You killed the Saint Wasp. Do you really want to fight to the death with our Thunder God's city? Don't forget, our Thunder God's city is the sacred city. If you provoke us and we send out a saint, you won't be able to bear it. Do you think we're afraid of you? This is the Eastern Spirit Staircase, our territory. Those Saint Wasp's killing intent is also overflowing. The Saint Wasp didn't say anything. He really couldn't understand what was going on. Suddenly he remembered that his soul had fallen into a deep sleep. Moreover, it was when he was eating the pollen. Damn it, I've been ambushed, and I've been tricked. This made him roar in his heart. Who was it? Who was using him? He was extremely angry. This time, they had also suffered heavy losses in attacking the Thunder God Mountain. There were many corpses on the ground. He wanted to find the culprit like crazy and tear him into pieces. But when he thought that there might be another sacred city behind this, he hesitated. If they were to fight again at this time, their losses would be even greater. At that time, they would anger the 2 sacred cities. Even if they were heaven and earth variants and were powerful and fierce, they couldn't bear such consequences. Therefore, he could only suffer this loss. Moreover, he couldn't say anything. Otherwise, as a king, it would be shameful for him to be ambushed by someone else. This matter ends here. Both sides can't fight anymore. The Saint Wasp King gave the order and left with the Saint Wasp. Those people from the Thunder God's city were so angry that they vomited blood. What the F***ck? Ridiculous. They didn't provoke this swarm of bees at all. But such a big battle happened for no reason. Could it be that it was Wushuang City's ghost? It was very possible. Damn it, when did this swarm of Saint Wasp join hands with Wushuang City? When they thought of Wushuang City, these people from the Thunder God's city gnashed their teeth in anger. Their losses this time were really too heavy. A single Fu Hongya was enough to make them badly battered. In addition to the attack of the Saint Wasp, It really made them suffer heavy losses. Damn it, this matter can't be let go like this. Repair the array formation. We will definitely take revenge for this. These people's eyes were red as they started to repair the formation. Chapter 3695. On the other side, laughter could be heard from Wushuang Mountain. That's great. The people from Peerless City were incomparably excited. Although they also suffered losses this time, compared to Lei Xinqing, it was simply not worth mentioning. Of course, it was all thanks to two people. One was Fu Hongye. If it wasn't for him, they would have been severely injured. The other was Lin Xian. If it wasn't for Lin Xian, the situation would have been worse. Junior brother, thank you so much this time. Fu Hongye smiled as well. He was very satisfied with this junior brother of his. Lin Xian smiled. Senior brother, you're too polite. I came here to join Wushuang City. In the future, I'll be part of the same sect as everyone. Oh right, we haven't completed the third mission yet. Suddenly, Lin Xian thought of something. Xinjingqiu also said, yeah, the array is broken. Can we still go back? Don't worry, we've been repairing the array. It'll be done soon. Even if we can't fix it, we can testify that you two came here first. Wushuang City's array was discovered in time. Hence, it was easier to fix it. Basically, it was done in a day. Thunder God City's side might have to put in some effort. What Whitey stole was the core of the array. It wouldn't be easy to fix it. Let's go. Fu Hongye also stood on the array. He called out to Lin Xian and Xinjingqiu. The three of them took the array and left together. When they appeared, they had already returned to Wushuang City. Senior brother Fu, how is it? In Wushuang City, the martial artists from Wushuang City were also very anxious. Previously, they had received a call for help from Dongling Mountain. Later on, they realized that they couldn't teleport. They thought that the array there was broken. They were very anxious. Luckily, Fu Hongye returned at this time. The matter has been resolved. Fu Hongye said, oh right, these two fellows are participating in the third mission. Because of some matters in our stronghold, they should have arrived 5 days ago. Record this down. I can bear witness to this. Yes, senior brother, we understand. The disciples of Wushuang City quickly recorded it down. At the same time, they said, congratulations on passing the third mission. You guys go and rest first. I'll make the announcement after the third stage is over. However, I am here to congratulate the two of you on passing the test and becoming disciples of our Wushuang City. Although the third test was determined based on time, there was still a time limit. That would be 1 month. If they couldn't come out after a month, they would be eliminated. At that time, they would go in and bring those people back safely. Thank you, senior brother. Lin Xian and Xinjingqiu cupped their fists, and then they went to rest in a nearby hall. The two of them sat down and began to recover. In the following days, the two of them were very relaxed. From the time the two of them entered the third stage to the time they came out, it took a total of 15 days, which was half a month. Actually, the two of them could have come out in 10 days, but because of the previous battle, they were delayed for 5 days. Even so, he was still the first to come out. Of course, Xinjingqiu knew that this was all thanks to Lin Xian's help. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to get out so quickly. Moreover, Lin Xian was her husband. She naturally wanted to help Lin Xian become the first. After another 5 days, which was the 20th day, another figure appeared. The person who appeared was Shui Tianqin. When he saw that there was no one around, he was extremely excited. That's great. Could it be that he was the first? Because he didn't see Di Ling, nor did he see Lin Xian. After him, it was Shi Bufan and Wang Xiaofeng. The interval between them wasn't long. They all came out within a day. Shi Bufan saw that Shui Tianqin came out before him and frowned. Damn it, did this person surpass him? This made him unhappy. Wang Xiaofeng was extremely excited because she liked Shui Tianqin very much. She looked around and saw that it was only Shui Tianqin. She exclaimed, Could it be that you are the first? I don't know. But when I came, I didn't see anyone else. Shui Tianquan's voice was trembling. Because he was too excited. If he could become the first in the third stage, it would be a great honor. Is that true? Wang Xiaofeng was also very happy. Shi Bufan frowned. It shouldn't be. Where's Di Ling? Where's Lin Wudi? Didn't they appear? To be honest, these two people were stronger than them. Shui Tianquan also said that maybe the two of them met and had a great battle. Indeed, Di Ling had always been hostile towards Lin Xian. They knew that. Moreover, there was Yu Qianye. Perhaps a world-shaking battle had broken out, and both sides had been injured. So, the speed of collecting the East Spirit Stones slowed down. If that was the case, it would be too easy for them. You guys come with me to rest. With Wushuangqing leading the way. Shui Tianquan and the others were very excited. They came to a palace nearby. When they opened the door and entered the palace, they were stunned. Because they saw two people inside. They were extremely surprised to see Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu. Shui Tianquan's face instantly turned ugly. He thought that he was the first. Who would have thought that he wasn't? Because someone obviously came earlier than them. And it seemed that it wasn't just 1 or 2 days earlier. Lin Wudi was here. Could Di Ling be far away? He looked around. But he realized that there was only Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu in the palace. Other than them, there was no one else. Just the two of you? Wang Xiaofeng also asked in disbelief. Xin Jingqiu nodded. Yes, just the two of us. Brother Lin was the first to arrive. Hearing this, Wang Xiaofeng and the other two sucked in a breath of cold air. Lin Wudi was the first again. It was unbelievable. It seemed that Xin Jingqiu was the second. What about Di Ling? Where was Di Ling? Could it be that he hadn't come out yet? They couldn't believe it. Lin Xian said. I don't know where that guy is. Anyway, I haven't seen him. It was unbelievable. Shui Tianquan and the others were stunned. Di Ling didn't come out again. Could it be that there was an accident inside? They didn't know. Wang Xiaofeng, Shi Bufan and the others were shocked. Shui Tianquan smiled bitterly. But thinking about it, third place wasn't bad. Because under normal circumstances, if Di Ling and Ghostly participated, he might not be able to get third place. But unexpectedly, Di Ling didn't come out this time. Ghostly didn't participate at all. Of course, there were two dark horses, Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu. Especially Lin Wudi, he was first in 2 rounds. It seemed that he would be first in the third round too. First in 3 rounds. That meant that he would be first in the final round. He would be their chief disciple in the future. Chapter 3696. Shui Tianquan and Shi Bufan couldn't believe it. All this time, they had thought that Di Ling would become the chief disciple, or if there was an accident, it would be Ghostly. But they didn't expect it to be either of them. It was a newcomer who had just risen. As a woman, Wang Xiaofeng was more meticulous. She knew that it was a fact and couldn't be changed. So she came to Shui Tianquan and said, Shui, we have to change our attitude. We will be disciples of Wushuang City in the future. Lin Wudi will be the grand senior brother. We have to have a good relationship with him. At least we can't be enemies with him. Shui Tianquan nodded. Don't worry, Sister Feng, I know. He wasn't a fool. Lin Wudi had won first place with his strength. Other than admiration, he didn't dare to have any hostility. Shi Bufan was the same. They sat down cross-legged and began to recover. In the following days, more and more people came. More and more people came, but they still couldn't see Di Ling. They couldn't believe it. Did something really happen to Di Ling inside? And there was another person who didn't come out. That was Yu Qianye. Yu Qianye was also one of the 8 geniuses. He was very strong and had recently broken through. Di Ling and Di Ling didn't come out. Could it be? They looked at Lin Wudi. Was there a battle between them? Did Lin Wudi win? Or was he attacked by a demon overlord inside? They were more inclined to believe the second result, because they couldn't believe that Lin Wudi could resist Di Ling and Yu Qianye. Even with Shinjingqiu, it would be a draw at most. But now, Di Ling and Yu Qianye's life and death were unknown. The others also noticed it and started discussing among themselves. Many of them looked at Lin Xian with fear in their eyes. Finally, a month's time was up. More than 3,000 people went in, but less than 500 people passed. The others were all eliminated and became in-name disciples. There were also some who felt their scalps go numb. Di Ling and Yu Qianye didn't come out? God, it was unbelievable. They didn't even have in-name disciples. They were eliminated. Everyone was in an uproar. They now knew that Di Ling and Yu Qianye were only able to enter because they received an additional condition, which was that if they succeeded, they could become disciples of the holy city. Once they failed, they would be eliminated and disqualified. It could be said that this was a great risk. However, no one believed that Di Ling and Yu Qianye would fail. Even if he couldn't get first place, it would be too easy for him to pass the third stage. But now, their minds were in a daze. These two people had actually been directly eliminated. Did this have anything to do with Lin Wudi? They didn't really know. In the following time, the people from Wushuang City began to teleport into the East Spirit World to search for those people. Everyone came back one after another. When they found out that they had been eliminated, they were all dejected. 3 days later, Di Ling returned. When everyone saw the Imperial Mausoleum, they couldn't believe it. At this moment, Di Ling's complexion was deathly pale. There was blood on his body, and his clothes were tattered. It was clear that he was seriously injured. What was going on? Why was the Imperial Mausoleum in such a sorry state? What exactly happened? They had never thought that such a valiant Di Ling would be in such a sorry state. In Water Sky City, Wang Xiaofeng, Shi Bufan, and the other sky brides were even more shocked. Sure enough, something had happened inside. But what was it? Was he being chased by beasts? Previously, they thought that it was because of Lin Wudi. But Lin Wudi had already come out, so it should be because of beasts. Thinking of this, they heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that Di Ling was unlucky to have met a powerful demon saint. Shinjingqiu had a suspicious look on her face, but Lin Xian had a cold smile on his face. Others didn't know, but he naturally knew. This was not because of beasts, but because of Li Hongxiu. Back then, Di Ling had acted recklessly and sneakily attacked him and Li Hongxiu at the same time. That was why Li Hongxiu was chasing after him. Who was Li Hongxiu? She was able to leave calmly in front of the 3 grand demons and obtain the heavenly treasure. Her strength was definitely out of his expectations. If she chased after Di Ling, would Di Ling feel good? Di Ling was probably lucky that he was still alive. After Di Ling came out, his face was gloomy and cold. He looked around the main hall and soon fixed his eyes on Lin Xian. His murderous aura was about to explode. Everyone's scalp went numb. Lin Xian sneered. Di Ling no longer had the ability to compete with him. Di Ling had been eliminated. As for him, he was first in 3 rounds and would become the 3rd generation's chief disciple. The difference in status between the two was like a chasm between heaven and earth. If Di Ling dared to make a move, Wushuang City would probably not agree. Sure enough, when the martial artists of Wushuang City felt the hostile murderous aura towards Lin Xian, their faces darkened. One of them said coldly, "Di Ling, know your place. You are now a loser. Hurry up and recover. We will send you off when the time comes." These people's voices were cold. A loser, no matter how dazzling and talented he was in the past, they would still not take him to heart. Damn it! Di Ling gritted his teeth. These people dared to treat him like this. He swore that he would make these people regret it. He retracted his gaze from Lin Xian. He knew that now was not the time to make a move. However, he swore that one day, he would personally trample on Di Ling and make him suffer a fate worse than death. After finding a place, Di Ling began to recover. More and more people were brought back. There were also some who did not return. It seemed like these people would not be able to come back. Currently, most of them had been found. Some of them were still missing. It seemed like they had met with an accident. A martial artist from Wushuang City said in a deep voice. You can start to recover now. 3 days later, I will send you off. As for those who have not returned, our martial artists in Eastern Spirit Mountain will continue to investigate. What? The remaining people had met with an accident? Everyone was in an uproar. Shui Tiancheng and the rest gasped. What about Yu Qianye? Yu Qianye also did not return. Could it be that he had met with an accident? If that was really the case, then it was truly earth-shattering news. Yu Qianye was one of the 8 great geniuses and the young master of the Rain clan. His identity and status were extraordinary. The fact that he had been eliminated was already shocking enough. Now that he was still missing, it was even more shocking. The Rain clan would probably not be able to take it and would go berserk. Many people present looked at Lin Xian. Because Yu Qianye and Lin Xian were enemies, some people even looked at Di Ling, wanting to ask if he knew where Yu Qianye was. However, whether it was Di Ling or Lin Xian, they were not to be trifled with. They did not dare to ask. Some people also thought of the despicable and shameless Yu Qianye in the Eastern spirit world. They did not know what had happened to Yu Qianye. You're tuning into the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.